It's the DLP Report Podcast, Season 3, Episode 1. On this episode, we cover the latest news, play the DLP30 Quizz, discuss Christmas, the 30th anniversary, and Avengers Campus. Hi everyone, and we are back with the DLP Report Podcast Season 3. I know a lot of people have been asking when we're going to be back, and now we are. Today on the show, we have Jeff from DLP Town Square, a long-standing member.
Still here.
Still here.
3 seasons in.
Exactly. And Patrick, who's also becoming a long-standing member and or a quiz master.
I can't remember if I was here for season 1, was I? I don't think so.
Maybe not. And we have a special guest today. It's Sadie. Hi, Sadie.
Hi.
You may know Sadie from Instagram. What is your Instagram?
Disney Sadie.
There you go. And she is also the other half of Jack and Sadie. And you may know Jack from Disney. Is he still Disney Parks Jack?
He is, yeah.
Yes, there you go. But he's playing football tonight. So we thought we'd have Sadie. It would be actually a better choice. No, I'm kidding. He's going to kill me. So welcome. Today we have obviously a ton to talk about. But we're mostly going to talk about the latest news and the latest happenings at Disneyland Paris. But we still have quite a ton to talk about. So we'll start with a bit of a roundup of the latest news and happening that have been going on at Disneyland Paris. And then Patrick will present his famous quiz. Is it a DLP30 quiz?
It is a DLP30 quiz. And it's kind of hard at the beginning and easy at the end. So because
okay.
I didn't have as much time at the end, so I was like, easy.
No, is it about the DLP30 offerings, or is it about 30 years of DLP?
30 years of DLP, baby. We made it.
God.
Who even knew that we would make it? Because it didn't look like it. We would for a long time.
We're not bankrupt. Who knew?
Right?
Not everyone thought we would make it. And then we'll talk about 3 big features after the quiz. We'll talk about Christmas and especially the new parade. Of course, the 30th anniversary with quite a lot talking about that. And of course, we're also going to talk about Avengers Campus. So in that order. But let's start with some news, shall we? We have a bit of a tracker here. The first thing we want to talk about is character costumes in hotels. It's something that we haven't seen in a long time. I mean, Newport Bay Club has started this trend. Was it even during the pandemic? When did it start?
I think it was when it reopened, right?
When it reopened, right? With the sort of nautical Captain Minnie. I don't even know. Captain Mickey, Captain Minnie. Are they both captains?
I can't remember actually.
Donald is just sweeping the decks, and who else do we have? I don't know. But Santa Fe is the latest one to unveil costumes, and oh my god, they went all out. My favorite obviously is Minnie, but Mickey's cute too, and Goofy has overalls, and even Pluto is trying to get in the game with like his little checkered color. I feel like Pluto is always hard to capture because he always has theme colors, except for DLP30 where he has a vest, I believe. Does he?
Yeah. Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
It's very much a vest. We love it.
But Jeff, do you remember when they had like character costumes in the hotels before this? I feel like this was a long time ago.
Ended like, I don't know, 2012-ish, I want to say. Maybe 2013.
Isn't that when like most things ended?
Yeah, most things sort of ended then. Because for a while they were like, well, we are not putting characters in hotels anymore. You got to pay for that.
Right, but you pay for your hotel.
No, but you can still go to a hotel.
Right. But I mean, it takes a level of like dedication to decide to bring your entire family to a hotel just to meet a character and then not go to the parks.
I think you would be surprised.
That's true. It is Paris.
I remember so they used to do in the Disneyland Hotel, I think Wednesday through Sunday, they did the Descent of the Stairs show. And so many people just rocked up for that and then left.
Yeah, I mean that was, but also because Disney princesses. People get crazy about Disney princesses.
In one time, I remember reading about that a while ago, like when they were doing the whole thing, they had Anna and Elsa in the Disneyland hotel, and they were
God.
it was fine, and then everyone found out, and they just got mobbed, and they're like, no.
Yeah, there was that New Year's Eve, wasn't it? It was New Year's Eve, and I remember I sort of told somebody, and then all of a sudden they were like, okay, well, someone put it on social media, not naming names, I know who it was, and then they were like,
was it me?
No, it wasn't you. And then they were like, well, now we're gonna check your Easy Pass.
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially for the Disneyland hotel where it's so easily accessible. I mean, this is where we go to the bathroom.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, the park ones are not great.
And I'm excited for the new bathroom at Disneyland hotels opening 2023 or 4. One thing that
we toned down already.
Yeah, great. Well, it's important, and I would like to point out that the Bella Notte toilets are still not reopened. What are they doing in there? There better be TVs in there when they reopen. With like pads.
To be fair, though, the Paris
Disney
bathroom,
Cruise Line, I don't know.
The Paris bathroom refurbishments are like amazing, though.
They are.
Remember Phantom Manor when that opened up, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's a great toilet!" It was so cool.
They are great toilets, though. Like the one by Agrabah with like all the nice tiling. It's really nice.
I mean, if I'm like walking around the arcades and I'm like, no, you know what? I'll hold it.
I mean, you've already got a topic for the next podcast. You're going to rank them clearly because
exactly. Oh my god, we should.
I mean, Disneyland Paris toilets open more frequently than new attractions, so they get refilled.
That's so true.
I mean, there are some really good ones. I think my favorite ones are probably like Colonel Hattie's, Agrabah, and the Town Square, but like not the shit Town Square by City Hall, the good Town Square by Main Street Transport.
Why is Phantom Manor are not up at the top of your list?
They're too small.
They are quite small.
How big do you need toilets to be?
I don't know. I like spacious toilets, like the ones in Town Square. You could literally like have a party in there.
Yeah, that's true.
Nothing beats the one in the Elysee Hotel.
Where
they literally have like the disco ball up there.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm excited for the toilets in Avengers Campus.
Will the water be warm or will it be cold? Who even knows?
Stay tuned for that.
Well, will they be themed? Has anyone been to California Adventure? No.
I mean, yes, but not for Avengers Campus.
Right. I wonder, like, no one. See, this is why we're European blogs, because the Americans, they don't post the toilets.
The Galaxy's Edge toilets are nice.
And they were the first ones to have warm water, and that's why everyone's like, in space, water's warm. I was like, okay.
Wait, at Galaxy's Edge?
Yeah.
My big like pet peeve about American park toilets and just American toilets in general is hand dryers. Like, where are they?
Non-existent.
Yeah, and then when you come across one, you're just like, right, these are the toilets.
Yeah.
I really think screw the rest of the topic. Let's talk about toilets for that.
I know, right? Oh, Jesus. This podcast is already off track. Sorry. So we wanted to talk about characters in hotels. And by the way, the hotels toilets need to be redone because most of them are not really nice.
We're getting back onto the toilet.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry. So the good thing with characters in hotels is that character hugs have returned. See how I jumped to the next topic? Yeah, that you can hug your character. So it was, I mean, let's just get straight into it. Cass was not happy because Cass was not told, and all the Disney friends came on stage one morning and they were told they had to hug guests, and I think there was kind of a big uproar internally about that. But guests were really happy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was decided one morning that it would happen, and no one really expected it. But good, I guess. And face characters have still not changed back to normal meet and greets.
But we have a date for that now.
Yeah, is it 26?
No, it's the 1st of April, isn't it?
Is it? Yes, you're right. 26 was the previous
There was
date
a rumor for a long
26
time.
26 was the previous date that I had, and that's why I had to redo my tweet. Right. So that's good because this podcast is going to be posted on Monday. So Monday we will still have distanced face character meets. But from the
Oh,
first,
the annual pass party will have happened by then.
yes, the annual pass party. Should we talk
Oh,
about that?
we've been.
That was great.
It was great. So, I mean, my favorite was definitely the Baymax meet and greet.
What about Pirates and Princesses? Did you enjoy that?
Well, it wasn't really Pirates and Princesses. It was just one of the scenes, Pirates and Princesses, in the show. But, you know, Beauty and Beast, really popular. Oogie Boogie, very popular. Who else did we see in the future?
Let me tell you. I'll tell you.
Yeah, Louis, the alligator, that was fun. And
Mushu.
I love
Mushu
that
was
they
great.
reused the final scene from Disney Dreams for the projection show because no one expected that. And I think people were just like watching, and I'm still talking in the future, still watching the show. And then all of a sudden, bam, Peter Pan.
Isn't it
Oh,
mad
that
that
rhymes.
people don't have a Stitch and an Angel meet? That's crazy. But they did for the soiree.
Yep, Stitch and Angel. Yeah.
Mad. Because apparently, according to merchandise department, if it doesn't have Stitch or Angel on it, it won't sell. Yeah, no, you can't meet the people around the park.
I mean, they're huge characters. It doesn't matter as well. You'll notice, like in so many of like outlet stores at the moment, Stitch and Angel are absolutely everywhere. You just cannot avoid them.
Which
like
is kind of weird.
The annual password. It's amazing.
Well,
I mean, are we running out of characters to just push out for those parties? Because now I feel like, you know, I mean, they have Oswald and Hortensia are going to be at, or where, I don't even know what tense to use. We're at Meet Mickey, which I guess they're going to use the rooms, right? So that will be the first time that the rooms are being used, unless they put them on the stage. But that's weird because they're fur, so they shouldn't be distanced. So we'll see. Or we would have seen by the time you listen to this. So
there's loads of characters though, because there's so much coming. Like Encanto, obviously. Eventually, we need to get Mirabelle.
absolutely.
I don't understand why the Mandalorian is not like everywhere. He has a mask. Like, I mean,
because he's not on planet, is it? I don't know.
But is that
what the issue is? He travels around the galaxy.
There for Star Wars nights, I think, in Anaheim, and then that got cancelled because of COVID. But they're happening again next month or the month after next, May.
But like, couldn't he just visit Galaxy's Edge?
I think they want to make a thing out of it.
I think the whole thing was when they make. I haven't thought of this. They make Galaxy's Edge at a very specific timeline where Mandalorian wasn't a thing, and they're just trying to like walk on it.
Yeah, but so
and stuff like that.
Yeah, so Galaxy's Edge is sort of in the sequels, but the Mandalorian takes place just after Return of the Jedi, so there's about 20 years gap. But Mandalorian could totally be alive in 20 years from Return of the Jedi.
I mean, Star Wars should really talk to Marvel, because at Marvel they're like, yeah, this is just a parks timeline, so no one is dead, and we also have the new characters, and it's all fine because this is the parks timeline. They have the multiverse. You know what they need to do? They need to have a Star Wars multiverse movie. And then everyone can just be everywhere. I mean, come on. It's money. So JPEG would probably make it happen.
I think they're going to drop the timeline at some point. Yeah. Obviously, they can't for the attractions in Galaxy's Edge, but...
Yeah. Well, are we getting a Star Wars land? Who knows?
Who knows at this point?
Who knows? I posted those aerial photos of the expansion, and we got picked up by this Star Wars blog, and they were like, "Oh, here are some photos of the future Star Wars," and I'm like, "Okay, all right, one day, maybe not there. I don't know." It's just, I feel like it's just kind of tough because they're rethinking the whole process, because Galaxy's Edge, let's face it, is beautiful, but it doesn't quite work in terms of like a lot of things. And European guests, like, they want the Death Star, they want the classic characters, and all this is not offered in Galaxy's Edge. And so I feel like maybe Paris is like, before we start digging, should we just think about that a little bit?
I think you could do Galaxy's Edge. I still think you could do it and just sort of set it, I don't know, 30 years in the past or whatever, and it could be part of the original Star Wars timeline.
We could call it the other edge of the galaxy.
Yeah, Because, I mean, I love sitting around in that land. It's so nice.
It is.
But there's not a whole lot to do, really. I suppose you kind of go on a ride, you like to have something to eat, and then you're like, see you later. Like, I think the reason. Well, are we getting into Galaxy's Edge now?
Yeah.
The reason why Galaxy's Edge is a bit of like a bit of a flop in that respect is that they promised, they were like, you're gonna have your story, and people are gonna know who you are, and you're gonna have credits, and you're gonna be able to like, if you like ruin the Millennium Falcon, people will know who you were. And I'm like, no, you pretty much just go there and do it and then go.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, because not all of this is available at the Star Cruiser.
That's a hard pass on a very minor fan like me. It's a hard
I don't know. I still want to do it.
I was very much in the looks rubbish, not going to bother. And seeing what people are saying about it, I'm kind of in the I probably want to do it now.
The thing is,
I will donate my organs to make this happen.
Oh, well, Jack is going to be happy to learn that.
Sorry.
Yeah, Sadie's going to be like, I sold the child, but we're going to the Star Cruiser.
It does look. It does look like 2.5 days of just great stuff.
I feel like you know how in London and I think in New York they used to have the Sleep No More theater experiences where you basically get into that building and you get like swept away by those actors and like the story made no sense whatsoever. I mean, you were early confused, but you had a great time because you were in the middle of the action. You know, I feel like this is what you're paying for. You're paying for immersive theater. You're not paying for like luxury space travel. Like, I mean, you know, sure the rooms are a bit basic.
I think some of the rooms should be reconfigured. Like the whole idea of having a double bed and 2 bunk beds. Everybody who slept in the bunk beds so far is like, they are not good.
We should put Patrick in the bunk beds.
Bottom bunk only, please. No, because I'll crush someone if I go on the top.
Okay.
I mean, move on. Moving on. All right, back to Disneyland Paris.
There's been a lot of refurbishment actually going through, going forward to the anniversary. And we've seen so many things being repainted and repaved. And the park looks great. I was really happy seeing all of that. And there's still more going on. They're redoing Castle Courtyard paving, because the great thing about those pavers in Fantasyland is that, well, they look great, but also the old pavement next to it now looks really shit. So if you were in Castle Courtyard, the washed out painted pavement was just really kind of gross. So now they're redoing that. But I don't know what's happening with the bridge. It was supposed to go under and it hasn't. And now the Tanière is reopening and nothing has been done. And Jeff has nicely put a few other dates in there.
Can't remember the dates.
The Nautilus will reopen on the 29th of April. I am not sure why it is closed. They're not doing anything in there, are they? Anyone? No? Okay.
Not that I know of.
I don't think so.
I mean, maybe cleaning. I don't know.
They've been cleaning for 3 months. Well, there was that child who had the Cafe Hyperion. And anyway, so
a lot of people need to go out there afterwards.
Yeah,
like, I'm just gonna not go anywhere else for a while.
God. And the riverboat, Molly Brown, 8th of April. Well, this one needed to be refurbished, I think, and not just because Tiana blew up fireworks from it for Halloween, but also it needed a bit of love. But that's fine because we're shooting a segment on the boat right after. So, and Small World, I mean, you say no reopening date, but I think it's just like end of year. God knows what they're doing in there.
There's no official one, but
yeah.
Oh, my poor beloved Small World, come back to me.
And that little walkway right now is
pretty narrow.
Grim.
Yeah. I wonder how that works after the parade. So there's walls on the Fantasia Gelati side and on It's a Small World. Is this whole thing like 2 meters wide?
Yeah, pretty much.
God. Anyway, it's got to be done.
Yeah, but maybe not at the same time.
Yeah.
Maybe they could have like done the pavers or something, or like done all the outside work on Small World, and then got okay. Well, maybe we can move these fences back a little bit now.
Yeah, and also there used to be walls down the street at Bella Notte Toilets, which are still not reopened. Well, that's because installing the flat screen TVs.
You're welcome back to your Bella Notte. They still haven't opened, but don't worry. We'll like if they open during the podcast, we'll make sure to stop and tell them.
Yeah, actually, I could send someone right now. I'm going to send someone. Another craziness that happened was the Lounge Flight Madness, as we have on our little tracker. Wow. So, are you going to get one, Sadie? Are you trying to get one? Did you buy one online?
No, I refuse. Okay. I mean, I'm part of a lot of Loungefly groups, and they're kind of averaging on around 250 at the moment.
Whoa.
Which, it's so upsetting. I mean, it's upsetting already that I think the price already went up that little bit extra to that, 100 mark.
Oh yeah.
I've got a lot of Loungeflies. I love them. But I'm very specific, and it is one that I would absolutely love because Disneyland Paris hasn't had their own one before, so it would be an awesome one to own. I just wish they put limits, kind of like the whole Figment popcorn bucket fiasco that happened in like Walt Disney World, and they were like, no, 2 per person. Like, I wish that sort of thing was happening a bit more, just to stop the whole craziness that people go through with stockpiling them.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of the issues are with like French law. They're not allowed to refuse to sell unless it's a limited edition. But I'm like, why don't you just make it a limited edition, like 50,000, like, or however they have in stock, and then it's a limited edition, and then they can say 1 per person. Like, I'm sorry, like the thing is, like, a lot of people say, oh, but it's not fair. Like, I can't get to the park. It's not fair for me. I want to get it. I can get to the park. And I feel like, well, park specific merchandise is something nice. Yeah. If you're visiting and it's there, then lucky day, you get to buy it. And if it's not there, then there'll be other items, there'll be other things. Right now there's not much, but there's the soap is there, for example, now, and some people
that does fall down some,
couldn't get the soap. It's like you get some, you win some. Like, they can't stock everything at all times, and I think they have some kind of secret release schedule. They said there was going to be more in April. I'm assuming like April 12 week or whatever. I'm assuming that's the week to go, because they're going to want to have everything in stores for April 12th, I guess. Maybe the Spirit jersey will be back then. But yeah, we posted a photo of like a giant trolley full of bags, but no faces. And then we got a lot of insults in our DMs by people saying that we're posting faces. Not us. It wasn't us. It was loopings.
we also got threatened by legal action. Just they were going to sue us. We're like, why? Yeah. I don't get it.
It's funny because they should be threatened by legal action for whatever business they're making. But anyway, yeah.
Isn't there like, it'd be difficult to prove this, but I think in the American parks anyway, there's a clause in the annual pass contract, and I haven't read ours. I just signed the piece of paper and get a piece of card and go, yay. But in the American parks, there's a clause that if you use your annual pass discount and then you go and resell the thing, they can cancel your annual pass.
There is, and it's like I think it's like a strike. They have like I think it's 2. I think that's it. I think it is 2 strikes and you're out. Because I saw somebody post this on there around the whole Figment bucket thing not long ago. So yeah, I mean, I totally get why they do it, because I mean, I'm fully prepared to come home empty-handed from my trip. I'm not expecting to be able to get hold of anything, but so it would be good.
And I mean, the thing is, like, if you have an actual friend, like let's say Patrick, you're visiting that day and they just release something and I text you, oh, will you get me one? Like, okay, 2 per person, fine. You're buying one for you and you're buying one for a friend. But people who come out with those giant trolleys and they have like 50, 80, 100 bags in there, like, I'm sorry, you did not have like 80 friends who texted you that they want a bag. Like, you've obviously taken orders in advance, or you're hoping to resell them in the future.
I mean, we could ban the trolley things.
Yeah, I mean, they banned in the US. They like giant big trolleys. Like, they put like 10 kids in there and push them around the parks.
I don't think they allow those anymore.
Yeah, it's also aggravated by the fact that this year the whole like stock has been a bit stuck and whatever. So I think like, you know, it would have been nice in an ideal world for them to literally just have like pretty much a lot of stock so they could just like flood the demand basically. But you know, I personally, I think that really irritates me about Disney Paris merchandise is that some of the really good merchandise is limited edition, and I'm like, stop making good merchandise limited edition. Just like making it for it. And then when you see that they have glasses from 2014 that are still on the shelves 8 years later, they can afford to make like decent merchandise last. And like, yeah, it's a thing I want to buy. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's you know, this they're getting better, but I feel maybe I don't know who at merchandise decides what kind of products they're gonna make and how much they're gonna order. I mean, clearly there must be someone who thinks that some of the items are like a sure bet, you know, and that's what you should order a lot of. And I'm hoping that when the Avengers Campus merchandise comes out, they will be able to know what is going to sell, and they've already ordered a lot because it's going to be the same thing. I mean, there's going to be some limited edition stuff probably that's going to be for the opening, like, you know, all the like they did for Star Wars, like they did for in the US. That's fine, but then the core line of merchandise, you should have enough of everything because you know it's gonna sell. People are gonna buy the t-shirts and the hats and the whatever else they make, right? Like the pins.
That's going back to Patrick's thing on the limited edition merchandise. Paris is very sort of obsessed with like these cute edition numbers. They're like, well, this is a Pirates of the Caribbean thing that opened in 1965, so there's going to be 1965 of them. And you go, okay, fine. You could probably sell 10,000 of these.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing, like in the Disneyland Paris 30 merchandise, like the core line is like pretty strong. Like it's and like when I was looking at pictures of the DLP25 merch and stuff, I genuinely think the DLP30 merch is like the core line merch is like stronger than the DLP25 merch. So like it's all they've done a really good job to design stuff that people obviously want to buy. And I think it's, you know, I know there's like exceptional circumstances that are keeping them from, you know, having enough on the shelves and whatever. But, you know, I think it's like it's sad that some people are going to be visiting during the 30th and probably won't be able to get the chance to buy the thing that they would really like to buy. And, you know, it's hopefully later. I was thinking like maybe like Shop Disney, they'll maybe do like a collection when everyone's like towards the end, they're like, hey, here's all the things and that you really liked during the, so like, you know, so that like for people like Sadie that might come and might have a lounge fly, that they'll be able to get their chance to buy a lounge fly. It's just unfair that people seem to be going through pickups. It's like
I have heard that it's kind of been rumored that, you know, some of the 30th merch will eventually come to Shop Disney, which I really hope so. I mean, Shop Disney, obviously now all the Disney stores have closed, have done a complete 360. I mean, the stuff that you can get on there, which before it was so limited, whereas now you can get merchandise from right across the parks. Which is great. I mean, I'm literally wearing the Disneyland Resort stuff that I've got from Shop Disney. But I mean, it would be great if, you know, like say for somebody like me who can't visit as often as I would like to, then it would be great if they did sort of like small little launches or at least staggered them. So, you know, people could still have a chance to get their hands on stuff.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's a learning curve. I don't know if they'll ever learn, but there's a curve. Sadie, I love you tanking Red Bulls. It's 9:00 on a Thursday. Party. All right. That's the spirit.
Disneyland life is fueled with pixie dust and Red Bull.
There you go. Wow, that's a slogan right there.
Well, I know in Tokyo, I know recent, like before COVID or something, I don't know, but I know they did this thing where to be able to buy online from Tokyo Disneyland, you had to enter your ticket number to show that you'd already visited the park in like say X amount of time prior to blah blah blah, like say a month before. And, you know, that could be a way to, like, you know, to have disappointment in that. If you have like your pass number, you can go onto like a special site and be like, hey, this was my ticket number and blah, blah, blah. And then the question becomes people are just going to ask you for your ticket number and then it doesn't work. So there's no real solution.
Do you think DLP can manage to link their ticket number database to Shop Disney? Please.
They could, in theory, because I mean, D23 did this with Mickey F. Glendale's just last week. So everybody who had a D23 membership could log in to Mickey of Glendale's.
Right, but that's D23.
Yeah, but the account system's now unified.
Yeah, I remember that time that everyone had, I mean, not everyone, but some people had to get new AP numbers because the database got corrupted or something. Remember that? Remember that?
Yeah.
And people were being sent like other people's information, like,
yeah, oh my God.
And you're like, no, that's not me. And here's you're literally their pass number, and you're like, okay. Yeah.
I was like playing around on the official app the other day, and it's like now you can go to ticket and passes and it shows your annual pass with the number, but you can't scan it to go in.
No, but soon.
Yeah.
That's the next update. Yeah.
But it's just a QR code. Like, come on.
Think of all the 40 euros. Think of all the 40 euros they're not going to be getting anymore when you lost your pass and you have to go to the desk and wait for 2 hours and have them make another one for you and charge.
Oh, that is a mess right now as well.
Oh my God.
There's a lot that's coming to the app. A lot of updates. And so yeah. I feel like by the end of the year, they'll have like really this stuff together. So yeah.
I was impressed. I did my Marvel bookings yesterday. That was really fun. That was cool.
Oh, for the superhero station.
Yeah, it's like all themed as well. Like all the pages have like Marvel graphics. It's actually quite cool.
All right.
Are Marvel people meeting in the hotels?
Just Spider-Man.
Oh wow, that was the thing. Because I remember thinking that, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that since like the hotel launched, and I was like, "Is that?"
It was really fun. I did it last month. I didn't do it before because obviously I don't really stay at hotels. But I don't know how that comes across.
Obviously, I don't stay at hotels.
I know. Hotels is all more you vibe, all of you guys, but I obviously don't pay for hotels.
Anyways, and it's a really cool setup. It was really fun. Spider-Man was nice. He was French. He was very French. Yeah.
Peter Parker.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure. So is Spider-Man a face character?
Technically, yes.
Okay. Because we got close to him. I mean, not close, but yeah.
Yeah, technically he's a face character, even though he's got a mask. But it's not like
it wouldn't be enough, I guess.
It'll be interesting to see what's going to happen when Avengers Campus open. Because are they going to keep the superhero station at the hotel? And also, is it going to be just Spider-Man? Because Spider-Man is going to Avengers Campus as well. I mean, Europeans love Spider-Man. So that's that. But I feel like, there's going to be other heroes in Avengers Campus. So maybe they'll just mix it up. Last thing we want to talk about in news. Are we really going to talk about this, Jeff? Mickey and Minnie's magical lip sync. Oh, sorry, magical voyage at the Dubai Expo.
Yeah, we need to talk about it because it was lip sync. It was amazing.
Yeah.
That was so. I did not get the point. I also didn't like the story. Like, oh, we're just covering the Marvel Hotel. I'm like, no, guys, it's been open for a year. You've been here. Like,
no, but I mean, this was just an advertisement for.
I know, but I took issue with the fact that they were like, oh, I wonder what's happening. Oh, is it a birthday today? I'm like, you've been celebrating it for the past 3 weeks. You know what I mean?
Well, technically, the park is not 30 yet.
No, but they've been celebrating it for the past 3 weeks.
I know.
And then they were like, oh, is it a party? And then they disappeared and learned the choreography and came back and were like, we got this. I had issues with the script.
I remember that stage. It's a huge stage. And it would just like, yeah, I don't know. But all the people came from Paris, I think. They sent all the performers and show directors. And I believe even Natasha was there. Selling the resort to the UAE guests. They're great guests, Middle East and India, big markets for Paris. So that makes sense.
They didn't just do Paris. They did cruise line and Walt Disney World as well.
Right. Exactly.
And to that, all the United Arab Emirates or people were like, just build a Disneyland here.
Which will totally happen one day.
Well, I don't know. Like the parks that they have built there are not really full at all. There's no one there. I mean, all the ones that I've been to.
We went to ING in February, and was it February? I think it was February. Anyway, it was. I mean, we turned up and there were 3 other cars there, so we googled to make sure it was actually open. When we left, there were about 20 cars. We literally had the whole place to ourselves, and I was like, how does this place stay open?
Yeah,
I mean, I got to give it credit, like the whole like Marvel Land section they had was done really well, but yeah, I was surprised how empty it was.
I went to the WB World in Abu Dhabi, and it's the world's biggest indoor theme park, and the theming was on point. Like, I'm talking Disney level. Like, the attractions, a lot of them could use better. This was all screens, and the theming, you could see a lot of ceiling, and there was a lot of like, not really real animatronics. I mean, it wasn't really Disney quality, but the theming of the actual park and the streets and everything was really, really on point. But same, I mean, I think we're really mad at some point because we had to wait 10 minutes for one of the roller coasters. I was like, oh, how dare they? Like, we're not walking on. What is this? Like, there was no one anywhere. Like the restaurants, like, yeah. So I don't know. It's partnerships. A lot of them, I think, are partnerships with the tourism board, with the government, and so I think park operators probably don't pay that much. Like, definitely not for the land, and they probably got built really cheaply compared to what we pay in Europe to build our lands, which I'm sure is probably like 10 times. But yeah, I mean, anyways, how did we even get there? I don't know.
Dubai Expo.
Oh yes, Dubai Expo. So yeah, I mean, I've also been to Dubai Expo. It's amazing, by the way. Really sad that it's closing this month. But yeah, I think it was just an advertisement, and it was produced by Disney Destinations. I have to mention the name, which is the UK branch of the Walt Disney Company that is in charge of promoting Disney World, Disney Cruise Line, and Disneyland Paris. It's all very complicated. I don't understand myself.
Are they sponsoring the podcast? It sounds like they are.
I know, right? They should. Anyways, it is time, Patrick. It's time.
Oh, wow. Okay, great. Yeah.
It's time. It's time to play the quiz.
Enthusiastic.
And you have requested a new music, so we shall have a new music. Are you guys ready? Should we? Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
I was the only person that was like,
well, Patrick, the microphone is yours. So we're talking about DLP30, and I feel like Jeff is going to get all these answers.
Also, on any of these questions, I don't really care about when the press event was, just so that we can be clear, because I don't know when they were.
That is totally a remark for Jeff, who's going to be like, well,
yeah.
Technically,
so, the preview was 5 days before, and the press event was 2 days before.
I expect in 6 of these questions to be like, Jeff, be like, I have notes, and I'm going to be like, anyway, so because you're new here, Ben, just say your name for the quiz. Don't say the answer.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll probably forget.
Sadie knows because she's listened to the podcast. Okay, question number 1, everybody. Good luck. There are 3 possible answers that you can use for the first question. So you have 3.
Is it a multiple choice?
No, absolutely not.
Oh.
There's just like 3 correct answers.
Yeah, there's 3 correct answers. So just before
God, this is already complicated.
There's 1 each.
Yes, you can get 1 each. Okay, in its opening year, how much did an adult ticket for Euro Disney cost in high season?
Does it have to be in francs?
It can be in francs, it can be euros, and it can be without inflation if you want.
I'll take a guess.
Go for it.
Is it 200 francs?
It was more, baby.
Rip off.
Ben, I think it was 320.
Oh, good Lord, no.
Francs.
It was less.
Well, that's like 60 euros.
Yeah, I know, because I have the answer in front of me.
Oh. Well, I don't know. Sadie, you want to guess? I guess it's between 200 and 320.
Let's go bang in the middle, 250.
Oh my God, Sadie got it.
I mean, oh my God.
Beginner's luck.
Can I just say, you either got it or you haven't, clearly. Didn't narrow it down at all.
It was 20% more expensive than the American parks when it opened.
Audacity.
Right?
That's why it failed.
So, bring it down.
One of the reasons.
Today's money, that was €56.98, or 39 euros without inflation.
Also known as billet privilege.
There you go. And even those are more expensive most days. Okay. Question number 2. What was the name of the first daily daytime parade to take place in Disneyland Paris?
Oh, I know this, Jeff.
Jeff?
It was the Disney Classics Parade.
I think it was a question before one of them. Yes, it was. Question number 3. What was the tagline for Disneyland Paris's 5th anniversary?
Oh.
Ben,
Yes.
can I say it in French?
Yes.
I think it was called L'année de toutes les fêtes.
It was. And in English, anyone?
Do you guys know? Like the year to be here?
Oh my God, Ben got 2 points on that one.
I knew it wasn't a direct translation, but I
know is because I have from somewhere, I don't know, like some partnership. I have a CD. It's pink. I mean, I don't know where it is, but I have a pink CD from the 5th anniversary, and it has the anniversary songs and some parade music or something. And on it, it says the year to be here, l'année toutes les fêtes. Yeah.
Oh.
That's how you remember those things. And also, I came that year. It was 97, I guess. My first visit was 95, and then I came in 97 and 98, I think. Yeah, these were the days where I was visiting once every couple of years instead of once every couple of months.
The year to be there, and you were there. Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was the Space Mountain campaign that totally worked. It's magic on me. Like I just needed to visit. Like it was just like there was no other option. Yeah.
It was 2 years before though, right?
Yeah, 95.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why you can't make a question about when it's Space Mountain open, because Jeff would be like, it was 2 weeks before that.
No, I said 2 years. It was 2 years before that.
Yeah. It was a great year.
He knows. Okay, question number 4. Complete the song lyrics. 10 years we whistled while we worked and had a laugh or two. We walked with you upon a dream and watched a dream come true. Because when we wished upon a star, then you appeared, my friends.
Jeff?
Yes.
We're in a small world after all? Or is that later? I can't remember. Oh, the party never ends.
I'll give you that now. In a small world after all, the party never ends. Well done, Jeff.
Oh, wow.
DLP10. I love that song. It's so good.
They used to play it in the Disneyland Hotel just randomly. It was great. Even like up to about, when they were doing Descent of the Stairs and stuff.
Yeah, they used to play like Space Mountain de la Terre la Lune in like Main Street Lounge. That was fun. Okay, question number 5. What was the name of the celebration that took place in Disneyland Paris in 2004 to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the film of the same name?
Oh, 2004. Oh, I know what the film is, but I've got no idea what the festival's called.
This is a serious memory quiz.
Memory Lane, or in like 2004 anniversary year.
I could just guess it. Is it like the celebration of the Lion King? Or?
No, not the celebration of the Lion King.
I have no idea. I just guessed.
What was the film?
Now you know the film. If you weren't listening, you can't have it.
What was the film? No, did I miss something?
You missed the name of the film.
I was thinking about the Disneyland Hotel.
You was thinking about those toilets.
I'm still traumatized from seeing the roof like wide open.
Any guesses? No. The Lion King Carnival.
But what film? Okay. What film was it? Like The Lion King 2?
No, The Lion King.
No, the 10 years of The Lion King.
Oh, 10 years. Oh, Jesus. I need to pay attention.
Yeah. Although, question number 6. What was the name of the castle lighting ceremony which took place nightly as part of the 15th anniversary festivities? And I'll take it in either English or in French.
Oh, Ben. Was it like Candelabration or something?
Why is that word so hard to actually like just even pronounce? Is
that correct?
It is correct.
Oh, wow.
And
I'm on
French,
fire.
It was like
and I'm not even drinking
or something like that, right?
Bougie Illumination.
Oh yeah, Bougie Illumination. Like why?
It's as unpleasant to say in English as it is in French.
It was a really sweet show, though. I liked it.
I watched it last night. It was cute.
Is that the year? Is that when they had like they used the poles on Main Street with like those things on them?
The turrets.
This is obviously
like
an audio show, but you guys know what I mean. Like there are poles with like flags and like.
And all the turrets on the castle were candles, and they all lit up.
Yeah,
it's lovely.
And then they wonder why the castle is such a mess.
It's been through some things.
Well, I mean, they blow it up like every night now.
For enjoyment. But now we don't have to watch it anymore. Anyways, we'll talk about
that. I get ready for the quiz to become substantially easier because I run out of time.
What year did Disneyland Paris open?
No, what year did the nighttime spectacular Disney Dreams first premiere?
Oh, Patrick. Ben.
I was going for some easy.
2012.
Yes. Can you tell me the date? And I don't want to press of it.
Well, did it not debut? Did it not debut on the press event night?
I don't
know.
No,
it was closed that night. It was the night after.
Oh, here we go. It was the 1st of April. Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
Question number 8. The 25th anniversary brought 2 new daytime shows to Disneyland Park. Can you name them?
Ben.
Yes.
There was Happy Anniversary Disneyland Paris.
I'll need more, please.
Was it more?
Yeah, because at the start you're missing 2 words. According to the Disneyland Paris website as well, I checked.
Is it like Something Presents or whatever?
Yeah. Who would present that? Who would present that?
I don't know. Emmanuel and Normal.
No. Mickey.
Oh, Mickey Presents. Wait, so unnecessary. Like, I feel like people at Disneyland Paris are like, is there 14 words in your title? Because otherwise you're just going back to the drawing board.
he was only in it like right at the end, right? Because there was that whole like Mickey.
It was Goofy, wasn't it? Goofy presenting it more than Mickey.
Oh, is that the show that was going like Mickey?
Mickey.
Yeah. Oh my god! Let me tell you, I would rather have Castle Stage empty, like for the 30th, than have that kind of show.
Oof.
Boom.
Bold statement.
And what was the second show?
Oh, that's the princess, the Princess Waltz.
Yeah, but you need to be given the adjective.
Mickey presents the Princess Waltz. Oh no, wait, the Starlet's Princess Waltz. It was Starlet's, but then there was a Christmas version, and that one.
The Christmas version was first. So like, the Christmas.
No.
It was the Princess Waltz, and then like for the 30th, they're like, 25th, they're like, oh, it's Starlet now, and.
Sometime during the day. Okay.
Always during the day.
The Starlet Princess Waltz brought the fairy style. Let me start again. The Starlet Princess Waltz brought the fairy tale stories of the Disney princesses to life daily on Castle Stage. Can you name the show's 2 hosts?
I've got one of them. Shoot.
I thought this was going to be a really easy one, and everyone's like,
yeah, I'm blanking. Oh, Sadie, you know this.
I'm literally drawn a blank.
You know,
can I give one?
No, you have to give 2.
I have half a point for one.
Ben. There was Rosie.
Yeah.
And
I have the other one. That's annoying.
Louis.
Louis. Yeah, Rosie and Louis.
And Louis was like the idiot who was like, I read the books, but I don't know any of them.
And I told him the last one, he'd be like, I knew it, and then he didn't because they're like, we're not paying for one show.
Well, like the stupid fans.
Yeah.
Everyone, all the kids are like, no.
Yeah.
No.
This is why, like, at least I feel like for the 30th, like, we don't have a dumb show, so that's like a win.
What is it? It was like this princess took a magic carpet ride. Oh yeah, that's Rapunzel.
Yeah. It's like, come on.
We only saw an hour and a half. We don't know what she's been doing all her life. All right. Number 10. Which 2-time Grammy Award-winning artist composed the Disneyland Paris 30 song "Ready for the Ride"?
I feel like we have discovered him recently. I can't remember his name. I don't know. It's some guy from Chicago.
Yes, it is some guy from Chicago.
Dude from Chicago. What's his name?
His name is Chris Cernell.
Is he famous?
Well, he was 2 Grammys, so I'm sure somebody knows him.
Right, but this is like the producers' Grammys, like so they're not on TV.
Yeah, I feel like if I had a Grammy, I'd be like, "Hi, my name. I have 2 Grammys, and my name is Patrick."
You change your last name to Grammy, Patrick Grammy.
Anyway, yeah, there you go. That was question number 11. As part of the Disneyland Paris 30 celebrations, Avengers Campus will open its doors, but what day?
Well, thank you for the quiz, Patrick.
Does nobody want the bonus point?
Nope. Pass on that one. But you will get the answer soon. In less than a month. All right. Will I get in trouble for this? Probably not. I didn't say the date. Other people have said that date before. Anyways, thank you, Patrick, for the quiz. Hello, who has won?
Ben won with a massive 6 points.
All right.
Well done.
And I did not cheat.
You can have a Mickey bar on the weekend that you're not coming to. That's already happened.
Also,
are you going to bring me back a Mickey bar from the park?
No, these like European Mickey bars. These
It'll
melt.
be
Like the American ones do not.
Oh, really? Yeah. So the Mickey bars are made in Italy, and they're actually not made by Nestle like in the US.
Yeah, those ones.
Did you
left it in the hotel like for a few hours? Came back, it was still solid. I was like, okay,
right. But also like the hotels in the US, they have the air conditioning set to 10 degrees.
No, but I mean like it's like solid.
But yeah, Patrick, they're made in Italy. Those ice creams, they're not the same as US.
Yeah, but no. I know. I've had US ones and I've had Disneyland Paris ones, and do you know what? I really don't mind because it's a Mickey shaped product. Also, I just want to go back to like merch. The merch got real good and the food got real okay. So Disneyland Paris, Twilight Zone. I feel like overnight I have nothing to complain about. Even Illuminations is kind of okay now.
And actually, we're going to talk about 30th anniversary in our second segment after we take a break.
Step into the wonder. Everything you pictured as it comes into view. Once upon a time, used to be long, long ago, used to be far, far away. But look how far we've come today. Once upon a time, it's suddenly right here and now, right before our eyes. This happy ending's just beginning. It must have my surprise. It's just like we dreamed it. As far as I can see, it's just like we dreamed it. As good can be. And I know it's so much better. 'Cause we dreamed it up together. Just like we dreamed it to life. Magically.
Welcome back to the DLP Report podcast. And we're now moving on to our 3 next features. The first thing we want to talk about is Christmas. So Christmas has been quite overhauled this year. Everything got canceled and a new parade got added. It was just kind of how I feel happened there. But what a parade. I loved it. What do you guys think?
Oh, I thought it was beautiful.
Patrick, are you not a fan? I can see you making a face.
I mean, the nature of my face is that usually I'm always making one. But yes, no, it was fine. I thought I would love it. I've notes in that. I think there's ways they can make it real better. I mean, like when they got off those stages, off the floats, when the characters are off the floats and whatever, I can't see what the hell they're doing. So put some lights on them, babe. And then after that, it was good. I liked the solid base. It looked real nice. But I feel like there's sometimes where it's kind of hard to see what's going on. and some lights would help. So there is lights, lots of lights, but it was fun. I didn't think it would, like, I'm a parade guy and I'm a shows guy, and I think I went like twice during Christmas time. It was fun. I didn't love it, but I really liked it, and it was a great effort by the team. So well done. But I just I have some notes.
Wow. So negative review from Patrick.
No, it was fine. It was nice.
It's the most negative I've heard you about almost anything.
I know, except Disney Illuminations.
No, but I'm trying to be positive because there was investment, and it looked like they did a real good job. And
I was going to say, do you know how much that cost?
No. But it's I think that, like, if Tokyo had done that, like, everyone would have lost their minds. So it was really good. I'm just didn't really grab me as much as.
So to back up, there are 5 units, and they each have a Christmas tree, a choice. When I was first told that, I was like, I mean, does it work? It kind of works. Okay. The floats are beautiful. They're very ornate, and we're talking about 30th anniversary next, and this is like the opposite. Like, basically they've done the opposite. 30th anniversary is like very bare, very modern, and this is like I feel like very traditional, like Disney parade. Like, everything is gold, everything is like glowy, and the floats are really amazing. They don't always work, but they're amazing. One thing, so the costumes light up and stuff at night, and they chose to have the same costume for the entire cast of dancers. And I don't know, that was the one thing that ticked me off, because they're not even different colors. Like, I feel like maybe they could have, like, they could have the same design, but maybe they can have like a blue one, a pink one, like, each float can have like its color of dancers, like trying to vary a little bit. I understand that they're trying to have this like ensemble, but you don't see the whole parade most times coming down. Like, we're not, there's not like an aerial view. So I felt like the costumes, they were nice, but like having it, especially during the day, having them all the same outfits, you just kind of like stop looking at them almost. That was my only thing.
Although I'm not a Winnie the Pooh and Friends like uber fan, but oh my god, their costumes were like amazing. They were so good.
So character costumes were amazing. I'm talking about dancer costumes. Character costumes, obviously, Just
when you were talking about costumes, I just forgot how much I really enjoyed. Like, I'm not a Winnie the Pooh stan at all, and I was like obsessed. He's so cool, and I love it.
Yeah, and I really like the music. I know it's change for fans. It's tough because anything that changes. And Christmas This Year was a great song, but I mean, do you remember when that thing was looping? It was 3 minutes, and it was looping maybe 7 times across the whole parade, and even like anyone, and there was a gap in the middle, like all the dancers would just stop with their hands in the air, and it was like, Christmas is here, ding! And then it was like silence, and then the song would go again. And so I'm glad we have now a real parade music. There's character voices, there's a theme music for each of the float, there's just everything that you'd expect from a modern parade. It has a lot of things. The tree lighting is incorporated into it. They've had so much trouble with that tree lighting, and the music stopping, and the floats getting stuck and rolling out silently. I mean, it's been like there's been a lot of teething on that parade, but I think they've figured it out, right? Like, towards the end of the season, it was running smoothly.
It was also the first parade that they've really done for 2.5 years. Well, not 2.5 years. What, 1.5? I don't know. When did pandemic start? March.
Well, yeah. if you're talking about parades that don't have floats from previous parades, then I think it's been 20 years.
But I mean, like in this complexity, I mean, that's kind of the first thing
parade. It's kind of like groundbreaking.
Yeah, it's pretty bold for that to be the first thing you do when you're bringing something back after a year and a half.
Well, that parade was supposed to start 2020.
Yeah.
So obviously that didn't happen, but the floats were well advanced, and the reason why. I mean, the previous parade was broken internally, and the floats were just not recoverable. So it was either you rebuild the same parade or you just make a new parade. And thankfully, they made the right choice, and they made this new parade. And so all the float bases are new. Everything is new in that parade. And I think, yeah, I mean, the technical issues that they had, from what I remember, it was that you have like several control rooms that deal with parades. You have parade control behind Small World. You have the hub show control in the garden shed, and then you have the town square control for the tree lighting. And, you know, the floats all communicate with complicated radio, Wi-Fi, and the audio has to switch from one control room to another, and the float control and the GPS and all sorts of things that made it really complicated. And yeah, it broke a lot. It was a bit heartbreaking to see, but I think they figured it out. But they should really just have like one parade controlling over everything. I don't know.
But for me, I found I would have preferred the tree lighting part of it to have just been separate, because the time you've got the float that comes round, then they get off, then they go back on, then they go again, it makes it a really long experience, which is okay if you're like quite happy, because of like us, we would always stand there like 30 minutes before, get our spot, get comfortable, and then you watch it, you know, do its thing, and then it's going again, and then it's like another whole kind of stop. It makes it one really long experience, whereas I actually quite liked the sort of toward the end of my park experience, kind of at Christmas time, being in the dark, and, you know, the light up tree sort of like being like that sort of like finishing touch end experience. So it makes it quite long. So that was the only thing that I sort of found with that. Like, it was kind of a lot of going back and watching it multiple times to make sure you kind of see everything in the middle, and then getting another spot again later on to watch down by the tree.
Yeah, and you almost need to watch it 4 times, because you need to watch it in the hub by day and by night, and then in town square by day and by night. I feel bad for like all the people who lined up early, like in the middle of Main Street, and are like, what? But you know, if you don't know, and you're in the middle of Main Street, it's like people who line up for like the 30th anniversary show. If you've lined up at the beginning of Main Street, well, it's going to be a short experience for you.
Yeah.
And it's not always explained.
Which I suppose is kind of good for Disneyland Paris, because it's repeat views. You're like, oh, I have to come, like, you know, I have to come and see this over many like times.
Yeah.
Or, you know, which I feel like it's fun to like have a new experience on like several different times. It's fun, but you know, I don't know. Yeah, like I feel really bad. I'm not hating on it. Well done to everyone that worked on it. It was really good. You know, it was just, you know, fun.
Yeah. And what I was hinting at the beginning is like basically the parade was Christmas this year. There was a few meet and greets, but basically the parade was really kind of it. And you know, I mean, back in December and November, it was still sort of like peak pandemic, Omicron, and kudos to them for launching in the middle of Omicron. They were like, let's just do it.
Even just like from like when COVID has been at Disneyland Paris, and like Disneyland Paris has been open and COVID has been a thing, I feel like they've done a really, really good job at trying to like always like have something for you to do, or if it was with selfie spots, or if it was with like the floats, sending out a float every now and again. Like that, I felt like, you know, kudos where kudos is due. Like Disneyland Paris did a good job at like weathering the storm and trying to like get things for people to, you know, be out and just have a nice little thing. And like that was like, you know, COVID is still a thing, but like when you go to COVID, it's when you go to Disneyland Paris, it's kind of like, oh, you kind of like you're in your little Disney bubble, and you're like, oh. So like it was nice for them to like have done like little things, and the fact that they even launched it this year was like, you know, great, because at least it kind of got people to be like, oh, Christmas can be a thing this year.
No, I think it's great. Like we only been to Disneyland Paris twice during the pandemic, because I was obviously pregnant and then had Kylo for, you know, a lot of it as well. So, you know, definitely wasn't going to come over at that time. But what the couple of times that we have come, you know, during the pandemic, they're like, you still have that sense of that Disney magic and that Disney feeling there, that like you say, you do still get wrapped up in your little bubble, which during a time like this was absolutely what so many people needed. So it was great that they still got on and did other things and try to make things work around the kind of situation that, you know, that we were all in.
Yeah. I mean, it's understandable that they haven't done. I mean, okay, the first thing I want to say is that Disneyland Paris always thrive in adversity. Like, it's such a thing at this resort. It's like, oh, we're on the brink of bankruptcy, and now we just got bought out and we have a $2 billion expansion. Okay. But you know, in like normal times where like nothing really happens, they're just kind of like, meh. But good for them. But I hope Christmas this year, I mean, you know, crossing fingers, nothing else happens. Christmas this year hopefully will be a little more fleshed out. Like, for example, big band, Mickey's Christmas Big Band is always kind of a big favorite, and they couldn't run it this year, even though I think we had shows back. No, we didn't have shows back. Maybe we had shows back. Yeah, we had Dream Factory.
Not indoors though.
Dream Factory was running.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, it was what it was. So hopefully these things will come back next year, and also maybe like a little bit more for Christmas, like a deli show at Videopolis and that kind of stuff, because you know the season this year was just the parade and a couple of meet and greets. But it was a great parade, and hopefully also they'll keep adding floats, because 5 is great, but 6 is better, I would say. I don't know. Maybe they'll have a new one.
I don't know. I feel like, yeah, it's kind of, yeah, like, you know, Christmas has always been one of the seasons that they've kind of done really good at fleshing out in general, even in the past when there was not really a whole lot going on throughout the rest of the year. Christmas is always like the one part of the year where like, I have like 1 day or 2 days and I need to like plan it all really carefully, because if not, I'm not going to be able to do everything I want to do. Whereas like in Halloween or whatever, you can be like, yeah, you can just like screw around for a while and be like, yeah, I've kind of managed to hop into it all. So like, yeah, I don't know. And again, I think what's really, really good to like talk about something we're going to talk about later is that I think that for once, I feel like ever since the Lion King, the Festival of the Lion King and Jungle, they you know, okay. But ever since that, they've kind of taken the whole, what does a season mean and how can I make the experience go from shows and merch to food, like, you know, and that's something that Disneyland Paris that we haven't really seen a whole lot of. And I know Christmas is one of those times where they used to have those little cute little, like, you know, cakes with like, you know, Santas on them, and then they had like, you know, all the shows and stuff. And now with Disneyland Paris 30, they've kind of taken this to like another level. So it's, you know, it's good. I'm excited to see what seasons are going to look like now, because I feel like with Disneyland Paris 30 and going forward a little bit, they've kind of started to up their game. So they need to make sure that they don't go back to, you know, just shortbreads all
crappy years
and bring back the Santa's sleigh.
I knew you were going to mention this. I knew you were going to mention this.
And the Holy Tree.
And the Holy Tree. Oh God, yeah. If you don't know, there was 1 year that the Advent calendar had cake in it every couple of days, and they all had ridiculous names. And Santa Sleigh, was that what it was? Santa Sleigh?
It was sleigh spelled S-L-A-Y.
Oh, right, exactly. It was sleigh, like you better slay.
For anyone that remembers, it was Cakemas. We had Cakemas 1 year where it was cake. And then the next year, everyone was like, what cake is it today? And it was like, here's a pen that you can buy in the Emporium.
Oh, yeah, it was like, you can get 5% off this pen today.
Yeah, you're like, no.
And then they had nothing.
Yeah, and then it just went.
This past season, it was just there. And we're all like, oh, they've installed the Advent calendar. And then it was just there. I don't even know if they changed the day on it. It was just saying
they didn't even open it. They just put it there and didn't do anything.
Yeah, but so many people are taking photos with it. Like, ooh, how cool. Like, why? Anyway. So Patrick, you've talked about DLP30 food. Let's talk about DLP30.
I'm so excited to talk about DLP30. I have so many.
Oh boy. Where do we start? Should we start with the drones? I feel like we just won the worldwide Disney parks competition with these drones. So the drones are part of Disney Delight, which used to be a little bit before that no one cared about, and then a little bit after that everyone cared about. And now they've put them together into one segment where No one cares about the first half, and everyone cares about the second half. Does that summarize it? Is that too mean?
I haven't seen this. I haven't seen the new version, so no spoilers.
The new version is just the old version put together
with the Disney art that they didn't do before.
Right. So here's the thing. So first of all, I feel like something is missing from this show, and it's those light cages that they tried to install and promptly removed. Somehow these failed to materialize. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure the idea was also to have some sort of like video effects and things on the turrets going with the projection of Disney Delight. So maybe Disney Delight does feel a bit flat because it was supposed to have those glowing turrets into it. That was supposed to be really cool. I guess it just didn't work out. I like Disney Delight in the sense that it is very pretty. Patrick, do you like the projection?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Do you remember like what's in it? I feel like it's a bunch of pretty images.
Yeah, it's swirl. It's like it's swirlies on the castle, and it's like keeps on going up, and it's like explodes, and then it's like boom, and then you get the wow minute. Well, like you said in a tweet recently, and I totally agreed. I think Disneyland Paris' reputation is like, we know how to do a nighttime show, and I feel like Disneyland Paris, if it was with Dreams and whatever came after Dreams, I can't remember, and then with Disney Delight, I feel like genuinely, I feel like Disneyland Paris does like night. I like if I was sitting in like Orlando or Anaheim or Tokyo or any of one of the where had like my home park was a different Disney park, and I saw that, I'd be like, Paris did what? Like, you know what I mean? It's like pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's the part that I really love. I think the Disney Delight projections are fine and they're really pretty, but like it doesn't really tell a story. You know me and story. It doesn't really tell a story. It just, like you said, it's like castle swirlies, which is fine. It's cool. But when I remember seeing it for the first time, and I was like, oh, okay. But then the drones come out, and this is where like, and I don't think even they realized like how much people were going to love the drones. It is the first time they use drones around a Disney castle, and it's the first time that they do any of that stuff. None of them has fallen on guests yet, or gone like a wire. Like,
I'm just waiting for them to become sentient and be like, crush, kill, destroy. I'm like, this drone.
I want one to go like Wally and just be like, wee.
But it does feel like, at least from sort of what you see and how they're using them right now, although it's great how they're using them, it feels like it's a test. It's like, okay, does this thing work in a park setting? If the answer is yes, which it looks like it's going to be, what can we do?
Exactly. I agree. Yeah,
Hopefully
I agree. And the effects that they're doing are pretty simple compared to even what we've seen. Like London had a whole drone thing for New Year's Eve. And all across China, they have those insane drone shows that have like an entire painting in the sky or whatever. I mean, we write 30 in the sky and people are like, whoa. But I mean, I guess it is Disney, and, combined with the castle, combined with the lights, combined with everything, the music, it is a combination. I feel like it's not a drones show. It's a show that has drones in it. But I mean, the drones are definitely like the number one thing that people want to see.
It's also one of the first, well, like me as like a non like London or whatever person, is like, it's also
we don't have them flying around like every day either.
Oh, well, from Mr. There's doing paintings in the sky over in the corner.
No, I mean, I haven't seen them. I've seen them on YouTube. Like if you Google Shanghai drone show or something, you'll see like some crazy shit.
No, but like it's for me, it's the first time I've ever seen like a drone like in the sky lighting up and like doing something with something else. I've seen videos of it. It's the first time I've ever seen one in person, and that's why I love the reaction every time. Like when it does the whole boom and it's on and everyone's, because like you obviously don't see them if you're not looking for them. You don't see them getting into place and whatever. So everyone's like, oh my god, because it is like one of these, like, it's probably, well, for me and for lots of other people, it's their first time they've ever seen like a drone show, or like a show with drones. So like it's really innovative.
Yeah. And like, it does put us back on the map of doing innovative things for nighttime shows, because with Disney Dreams, the entire world of, Disney parks fans was like, holy crap, you've put fire, projections, lasers, fountains on your castle. This is amazing, fireworks, and then they got lazy and did like a copy paste of a lesser show. So I feel like now they're sort of finally like waking up, and all the eyes are like on TLP again, be like, sorry, TLP did what? Like what? This is crazy. And like, especially now, because all the parks are still recovering and all this and that. And so I feel like this was the right moment because no one was expecting something that cool. And I liked also that they've changed it and they put the two segments together because they realized that people really loved the second part, which has just more like, dance music, and the show is really focused on the drones. And I think a lot of people also were leaving at the end of Illumination. You have this big fireworks finale and people were leaving and they didn't realize that the drones were going on in the sky or something. I mean, really? But maybe. So yeah, well done. And also great for fans because now we can go and see D-Lights and leave before Disney Illuminations.
Get to a sandwich before the queues.
Exactly.
Does all that happen before Disney Illuminations then?
Yeah.
Oh no. I was excited to like stay after and just like jam in Central Plaza.
No, everything happens before Disney Illumination, and at the end of Disney Illuminations, there's nothing but your regrets that you watched that show.
So is it going to be like basically, when like Hollywood stars do like these Hollywood premieres and you see them all walking down the red carpet and they get in and as soon as the lights go dark, they just get up and walk out. So is that basically what Disney?
Yeah, there's a queue to exit before Disney Illuminations start now. I'm kidding. The arcades are really busy.
You're going to be like that guy who's like tiptoeing around Central Plaza like, excuse me.
Yeah. This is your invitation to leave. No. I mean, arguably, I would probably stay for the first, for the opening scene because it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to lie, I still cry.
Oh.
I do. I remember when
because it's so bad.
I was waiting for the punchline.
I remember when me and Jack we did I don't know how long ago, years ago, and we did a trip and we were stood and watching it, and I was like looking at him and I was looking at the castle and I was like, oh, and I couldn't stop crying. And then we went and saw the Star Wars one, obviously, when it was Season of the Force, and then that's when Jack cried. He was like, oh, no, Star Wars.
The Star Wars one was really good.
Oh, I was like, wow.
On Tower of Terror, yeah.
Goofy's Incredible Christmas. That was the best one they've done. That was good. Oh, the first year of Goofy's Incredible Christmas was actually incredible.
Yes, but to me, Tower of Terror and Production Courtyard doesn't scream Christmas at all in any way, shape, or form. I understand that it's projections on it and stuff, but like being like freezing my ass off in Production Courtyard is not how I want to end my night.
Do you think we'll ever get to a stage now that there's Campus and we're Frozen coming down the line? Do you think we would ever get to a stage where, because like even in Disney California Adventure is like a far superior park and it still closes a fair amount earlier than Disneyland Park. So will we ever get to a stage where they'll be like, oh, it's open till 11 because there's like a show in Walt Disney Studios Park? Because they'll have to if they want to do like a late show, right?
Well, they do a DCA for World of Color.
No, but it gets darker a lot earlier in Los Angeles, right? So like you don't have like
it depends on the season, I guess.
Paris is kind of unlucky in the summer. It gets dark real late, like really late.
But that's why I was thinking, right? And I know, again, I'm derailing the podcast. Why wouldn't they open the parks later instead of having like 8:00 start for studios? Why not have them start at like 10 or 11 and then have them go through like a later time?
Well, cast members have to be paid extra after 11 p.m.
But also, a lot of people start at studios. That's just what they do.
Yeah, I don't know. You could have like them leave. I don't know. All right. Oh, okay.
I don't disagree. I think it's a fine idea. But
there's definitely a costing, and also I think like we're adults, but people who have kids, like after 10 p.m., like they don't want to be in the parks anymore.
Are you serious? Have you seen the amount of kids that they like bring into like see World of Color illuminations, and the amount of kids that are like in the hotel tables at like 11 o'clock at night. Me and my friend Shane went to Newport Bay one night, and it was like 10 o'clock, and there were kids like falling asleep on the table because the parents are like having a buffet. So like, you're Disney, you're in Disney energy.
I just glimpsed into my future, and it was bright.
Yeah. Yeah, Callum's going back sleeping.
Going back to a Disneyland Paris hotel at like 11 o'clock at night is a weird experience because there's just all sorts of things going
hopping.
on.
Yeah, yeah, and that's when there's no strikes. So another, I love to say things and there's like big silence. Everyone's like,
can we talk about this?
Can we talk about the strikes? Yeah, we can talk about the strikes.
Do you mean the strike that's going to happen tomorrow for the RATP?
There's a strike tomorrow?
Yeah,
there is a strike tomorrow, but it's fine.
Is that because it's an AP party, so they were like, haha?
Yeah, and then I saw on all these Facebook groups, all these people saying, "I'm not selling my ticket. I'm just not letting anyone go." And because everyone's like,
I'm like, great.
I'm like, great. So there's less than 6,000 people. Hurrah!
Oh, I think they're selling more. Oh no, they're not.
No, they're not. That was
Sorry.
the tourism.
Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Another show that is debuting for DLP30 is Dream and Shine Brighter. Worst name. I can never remember it. What kind of name is that? Dream and Shine Brighter.
It is a terrible name.
I don't mind it. I think it's fine. What would you?
But what does it mean? Like,
I got used to it, but like when they announced it, I was like, is it like Shine and Dream, top of dreams? Like shiny dreams, dream shiner. Like, why is this so complicated?
What would you call it?
Mickey presents Happy Anniversary.
Ready for the ride.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
But, I mean, isn't that obvious?
Isn't that a bit of like a tease to people that are ready for a ride in Disneyland Park and they are not getting one?
I mean, the whole song is called Ready for the Ride.
Yeah, which is kind of a bit of a tease to people.
Well, they're not saying ready for a ride. Also, they don't call them rides; they call them attractions.
I know, but most people will be like, rides.
Yeah. So Dream and Shine Brighter. So you have to see, if you haven't seen the floats, you have to see them in person. I like them. Patrick, do you like the floats?
Oh wow, was I making a face again? No, yeah, they're fun. I think it's like you said earlier. I think they're modern, and I think it's nice that they're trying something new. It would be nice if they tried something new that didn't look like it was real cheap, but it was fun. Yeah, fun.
I mean, they're simple, but also they have those really bright color on a sunny day. They're very Disney World. They're very like move it, shake it, dance party.
That's exactly what they are. That's exactly what it is. Yes.
Yeah. And I don't mind it.
Without the sun shining on them, though, they can appear quite dark.
There's a lot of gray in there.
Yeah. But I mean, so one of them, going back to, we were talking about the tree lighting. One of them is the tree lighting floats. So that's not coming back. I don't know. I like them. When I saw the concept art, I was like, oh, that looks like really blocky, weird color. But actually, they're quite see-through, and you can just like, Patrick, what are you doing?
And the float that Goofy or Pluto stands on? It looks like that. It looks like that.
Yeah. Patrick is making a fist sign. It looks like a fist.
That's a great explanation. The one that's like a really slanty one and looks like unmentionable.
Just say it.
No, I mean, like the penis on the podcast.
Yeah, sure.
There you go. It looks like a penis.
We're talking about worse things like eliminations. So,
welcome towards the end of the podcast where everybody gives up.
We could at the end. So, Sadie, how it goes at the end of the podcast, we could really talk about how we don't like eliminations for like a long time.
Because nobody makes it this far.
No, that's not true. People fast forward. We're not live.
That's why everyone's just gonna keep skipping through to get an update on the toilet gate situation. So
I know, right? They're not reopened, by the way. I asked. Oh no, wait. Oh, they'll go check later.
Please do interrupt the podcast with any more updates. You wouldn't require to know.
Live update that you'll have already learnt about because this is 4 days later.
Yeah.
Hello, future people.
Plenty of new characters. There's Miguel is making his debut for absolutely no reason, but it's cool to see him. And
Joy.
otherwise, some other characters are making the debut as more of like a regular characters, like Joy. Sadness was supposed to be there, but sadly,
doesn't make any sense.
Sadly, it didn't make it.
Would Sadness be able to move around that much?
But why would you have Sadness on an anniversary float? That's weird, right?
Yeah.
The whole movie. If she had just literally have just listened to anyone that was talking to her at the start of the movie, we would have had a very like peaceful 20 minutes.
I'm sorry, Patrick. Are you redoing Inside Out?
Yeah. If she just listened to one person who talked to her, we would not have gone on the whole madness of an adventure.
It would have been a Pixar short.
and Bing Bong would still be alive. She killed Bing Bong. # justice for Bing Bong.
Sadness is like the horticultural team after they see the fire.
Oh
God, are we talking about this? There was a fire in the bushes on Central Plaza. Well, that's what you get when you get sparklers. Patrick is dead.
You've not seen the video, Patrick?
Yes, I have, but it's
good.
It was like there was a fire in the bushes.
And like some guest just like gets up and is like, well, I'm going to put it out because no one else is doing anything.
Just like jumps on it.
Yeah.
Only in Paris.
Well, no, because in Walt Disney World, I mean, the Maleficent float caught fire.
I was thinking about that the other day.
Oh God, that was definitely number one.
Imagine being a guest with like a small child and then this dragon is on fire and you're like, oh my God. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, how did people react to that? I'd be like running to like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I would like just
I saw a photo of it the other day as well.
Yeah. It was not a small fire. It was like a proper like burning.
And the music was still going. It was like,
yeah.
I was like, it was hellish. It was pretty. Yeah.
But our show didn't burn down. I like the music. The music is really awesome. I think it's
very
really cool.
Magical surprise. It is. I feel like it is very.
It is. It has a bit of a sample. I wonder if the same guy made Magical Surprise.
Oh my God!
Wouldn't be surprised. wouldn't be Magical Surprised.
I love Magical Surprise. Oh, I've been listening. Ever since Ready for the Bride has been on, I've been listening to Magical Surprise. It's even better when it's in Chinese. It's like, I don't know. It's something about not being able to understand what it's saying.
This is definitely going to be our musical break before Avengers Campus. Before we talk about Avengers Campus.
Oh my God, you should put a Magical Surprise.
Yes, done. So yeah, the music is amazing. Can anyone tell me the story of this show? I think the story is like being happy and dreaming, and I'm like, okay.
Shining brighter, maybe.
Yeah, there's no story, so that is the one thing.
Story and more of a journey.
Yeah. I mean, it's a party. That's another comparison to like, movie ticket. Like it's like a celebration, a party. But if you compare it to the Jungle Book Jive, where they like basically travel across the world in like 20 minutes, even though they're just dancing on stage and they managed to tell this whole story. This show, I feel like, doesn't really have any type of story. They just come out and they dance around, but it doesn't really matter. I guess everyone is having fun.
Yeah, I the first time I saw it, I was like, what's the story? I don't get it. And then I like maybe the third or fourth time, I was like, you know what, it's real fun. And we've had like, I literally was thinking, I was like, we've had a difficult past few years. There's some Disney friends, there's some new Disney friends. Everyone's having a good time. I love the way that like Jerome
There's Mad Hatter for no damn reason.
Well, it's classics, because if there's no Peter Pan or Alice, everyone's like, where's Peter Pan?
And Genie.
Yeah, Genie's very much a top triangle. He's like an upside down triangle, right? Very like that. Anyway,
okay.
Anyway, during the show, my favorite bit is where the floats spin around Central Plaza.
Oh yeah.
It feels like Central Pass is alive, and you're like, oh, I can just walk to any of these stages and have a fun time.
Yeah.
No, it's real fun. It's fun, but like you kind of have to just disconnect your brain a little bit and be like, man, there's no story here. We're just having
You have to enjoy it for what it is, rather than try and find too much to go with it. Just
Yeah, and I think that's fine because the show is so fun that it works without a story.
Yeah.
But for shows that are not as fun, like Disillumination, there's no story, it's not good.
We should do a ranking of hub shows one day.
I will stop
That would
with
be fun.
Disillumination. Ranking of
Hub shows one day. That would be fun.
well, how many do we have? We had Halloween and
We've got a
Tokyo
lot
Jive,
now.
and we know which one the last one is. It's Frozen.
Yeah, there's Frozen. There's Jungle Book Jive. There's
I feel like
Pirates and
Jungle Book Jive would be.
Princesses.
Are we doing it right now? I feel like Jungle Book Jive.
No, let's not do it now. There's a whole conversation there.
Oh, is it?
But
Okay.
Pirates and Princesses was one as well. That was great.
Which
Do you
one?
remember
Pirates and Princesses.
Oh yeah,
That was our first one.
there was a story there.
do you remember the cod soup from the Frozen season?
The what?
The
Oh
cod-
God.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Remember that? I know. Sorry, I promise I'll try and keep this podcast on track.
The food team was like, we know our guests. They want to have fish soup at
Yeah.
9 a.m.
Do you remember when we were queuing outside Lucky Nugget and like this customer was like, "Here's our Frozen menu," and it was just a beer.
Oh
It was
yeah.
just a Carlsberg.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? That was January 2020, and we thought that was the worst that was going to happen that year. So, looking back, it was pretty okay.
It was a highlight of the year.
It was the highlight of the year. It was the only thing that year.
They never tried to bring Frozen season back, and I really hope they don't, because it was.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
There just wasn't enough for it to be classed as a season for me.
Yeah. It was a marketing promotion, but it got sold as a season. And so that's what happens when you don't deliver.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But
that
anyway.
great, was it?
DLP30 merchandise, Patrick's favorite topic.
I love it. It's so good. Well done.
I mean, the soap,
have it.
I have it too. Yeah.
I have. the
It
template.
smells.
Oh, you don't like the smell? It's the same as the one that I got at Walt Disney World, and I think
It's
it smells
grapefruit.
great.
I like it.
I really like it. Yeah.
It's not a smell I would ever choose, but that's why I kind of like it, because I'm like, it doesn't smell like every other soap I own.
Yeah. I do have grapefruit bubble bath.
You can just empty them.
Sorry.
The best thing about them is that you can just empty them. Buy any soap that you like,
yeah.
fill it up half, fill the other half with water, give it a shake, and you've got, there you go, bit of scent.
Apparently the Method foaming
Yeah, I've
soap,
heard
because
this.
Method has some foaming soap as well, obviously not big shaped, but their soap is formulated to work with the foaming heads. And so if you buy the Method ones, you can refill with that product.
Any soap will do.
Yeah.
Other soaps are available.
I have been refilling my one I've had for years, for ages. They work great.
I'm going to put some Aesop in there. What else? Well, the spirit jerseys are currently out of stock, but they're pretty nice. The white ones,
I have that too.
they're much better than the loading ones.
Yeah.
Remember the loading ones?
So the loading ones, I like the back of those. I think they're nice.
Yeah.
The
But
front.
then
is
you
not.
have to walk around with a thing that says loading.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else we like? The mug is quite popular.
I don't have that. I need to
It's
get
nice. Nice, the mug. They have all sorts of things. I think it's funny that they still make placemats, because when I was a kid, my parents took me to Disney World, and I had the Food Rocks. No, the Kitchen Cabaret placemats. This is how old I am. And I think it's fun that they still make placemats, like I guess for kids to eat on. Do you use placemats, Sadie?
No, not personally, but I
For
remember
Kylo, he doesn't have a little placemat.
he's a bit little at the moment.
Yeah.
who actually eats dinner at a table?
Does
I
he?
do.
Am I-
Yeah.
am I-
Where did you eat dinner? On the floor?
No, hon, I eat it on the couch because I'm like, I'm sitting on my table now, and it's probably the first time I've used it.
Oh no, but I mean when you were a kid.
Oh no, I'm talking about right now. I'm not kidding.
Oh, I thought you meant like as a kid.
No, I'm talking about now. I'm like, I don't have dinner at a table
Oh yeah, I ate dinner on the sofa.
all the time.
I mix it up. Today was sofa. Last night was table.
Oh, there you go.
Oh. Is-
I know.
What about you, Sadie?
To be honest, sometimes mine doesn't even make it to me sitting down. I am such a pig. But most of the time we'll tend to eat in the sofa. Like table for us is like an evening, you know?
Yeah.
They get dressed up, put the tux on, put the candles on, get the Mickey placemats out.
I want one of those placemats. When I in April, I'm gonna get some placemats. Well, just one. It's also like 3D.
Ben has one though. He's got a Mickey one. That's what his bowl is on.
There you go.
Wow, Carlo is more decked out than we are.
There's also t-shirts that are actually not too bad, and they were surprisingly cheap. I think the one I got was like 20 euros. I'm like, 20 euros for a t-shirt just in Paris. What's happening? And you remember they had like this like shiny jacket that's not out yet, I think.
But it is out in Japan, controversial.
Yeah, it is out in Japan. Yeah, there's some weird thing that basically Disney Japan has more merchandise that we have in Paris, but I think maybe they make it there. Would that make sense?
No, I think they make it in. Well,
I don't think
all over the
Paris.
place. They don't make it in
Paris
Japan.
like sends it there. I think they make it in Japan or in Asia, and it just gets shipped over there. I don't know.
I mean, unless I've missed it already, the one thing that I'm waiting for is the Disney Doonies. I cannot wait, and I'm so excited that Disneyland Paris has its own Doonie coming out. So I cannot wait to get those.
What's a Doonie?
I knew that was coming. I just looked at Ben the whole time like, I do not understand these words right now.
So Dooney and Bork.
Who?
Are you sure you're the one doing your tweet?
Patrick, do you know what it is?
Yeah, it's like a.
They do like handbags.
Yeah, it's like a bag. Dooney and
And
Burke,
the black one.
Oh, are they like high-end bags?
Yeah.
Ah.
But I
all
absolutely love them. And although they are expensive, I've withheld with great restraint from buying one. However, now that Disneyland Paris is getting it, and it's great that they're getting the full handbags as well as like the little crossbodies as well. Absolutely. I reckon they are going to go so fast because Doonies are so popular.
Interesting. All right. Well, we'll be watching out for them then. But they're we were saying before they've had issues with stocks, and so they're rationing a little bit what they put in stores, and also some of the products have not arrived yet. Today the marshmallows arrived, so why not? But that's merchandise. We were talking about the Loungefly bag, so we're not going to go back there. Patrick, snacks.
Oh my god, they went from like being like pretty like terrible to just like okay, and I'm like, there's a lot like if anyone's coming, so I have family that are coming to Disneyland Paris in 2 weeks, and I've got like a list of like 4 or 5 things. I'm like, we have to try these: Mickey bars, Dole Whip, the Madeleine. The menu in the Videopolis is pretty good, like the burger menu. Like there's like a fair few things like cheesecake on a stick.
Is it nice? Have you tried it?
I've had it. It's lovely. It's like the cheesecake in it is like real nice. It's like really just weird because you kind of bite into it and it all falls off onto your plate and you're eating like a caveman. So I don't know why it needed to be on a stick, but I would totally eat it. And it was like a $5. I'm like, I would totally pay for it. Like it was pretty good. No, genuinely, I'm like really, really, really impressed with the snacks. They're really good. And
what about the waffles? Just like mini Mickey waffles, waffles.
Oh my God, they're so good too. I got the ones that didn't have Nutella on them because I'm like the only person in the whole world that doesn't like Nutella. So I got one of those, and there was this one at Cool Post in Adventureland, and she was making them, and she was like efficient, and she was making them fresh, and it was like really well presented, and it was like so tasty, and the batter was fresh. And it just goes to show when Disneyland Paris wants to, they can make it. The dude that does the Dole Whips, he in Café de la Bourse, I've been there twice, and it's been the same dude, and he has it on fire. I'm like, to some Disneyland Paris cast members that know what they're doing, and we love to see them. And then there's other ones that are like, I'm going to wait 25 minutes to like serve one customer. No, I have to admit, fair play to the cast, fair play to the people behind food. Food did it it's pretty okay. I actually I'm going tomorrow, and I'm trying to pick out what snacks do I want to have, what are my faves, where am I going, what's getting me money? And that's the thing that Disneyland Paris would not have had that situation before. I would have very much been like, meh, don't care, McDonald's, or like when I go home, or I bring someone with me. Whereas now Disneyland Paris is actually getting more of my money every time I go. So please make an effort, Disneyland Paris, because when you put nice things out, I'll actually get them. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
I have already planned out my snack day tomorrow. Like, it exists. I know what I'm doing.
So like somebody saw I think it was on the DLP report chat or something. Now there was like somebody was like, I'm here for the snacks, and they're like, oh, wrong park. I'm like, genuinely, if this is the level that they keep going for, and if this is the level that they can maintain, I'm just worried that they're not going to maintain it. If they can maintain this level pretty standard like throughout the year, I would be like, yeah, there's Disneyland Paris snacks that I like that I want to have, and every time I want to go, I want to have a Dole Whip or a Mickey Bar or a Madeleine, or there's so many things that I'm like, yeah, I want to try it. Like it's like and there's still so many things I still haven't tried.
Those two things though, like you think of the Dole Whip and the Mickey bars, like they are and the waffles, they are like huge things that people really associate with the parks, and like even like the scents. Like I know that sounds really silly, but like I have like a Dole Whip Mickey Dole Whip like candle, and I have a Mickey waffle candle, and it's like they're all like really signature things that people resonate with the park. So I think having those key ones in Paris, and not being funny as well, things that are Instagrammable, that is what gets people in. People want to have that picture with their Mickey ice cream and their Mickey waffles. Like those are the things that people want, those key signature.
And just missing the pretzel.
And America has done all, like the American parks has done all the work for Disneyland Paris. All they need to do is walk in, put it out, and then people will go. They don't need to do any. They've done, because there's such a big Instagram audience, and there's also a massive audience, specifically I would say in the UK, that would be kind of him and hand between either going to Walt Disney World or going to Disneyland Paris. And the fact that these things do exist in Disneyland Paris are kind of like, they're little small things, but they're stacking you up in favors to get people to press book to go to you and not to go and see somebody else. So no, I'm thrilled. I think they're really good.
Yeah.
All right.
I know that I'm walking in that park. I'm going to go straight to my Curry West hot dogs. I actually like those. Going to pair that up with like a Mickey bar, and I'm going to walk straight and get a Dole Whip. That's tomorrow.
And it's kind of crazy the way this whole Dole Whip happened is that we posted it, and the vendor that basically imports the Dole pineapple soft serve, which is what Dole Whip is made of, like started replying to our tweets and other people's tweets saying like, yep, this is the same product. This is the same product. We can't call it Dole Whip, but this is Dole soft serve. That's the same product. And the funny thing is like Disneyland Paris, like who, like what? Hello, we're what? They were just
there is a Dole partnership. But it's not a partnership. They stock Dole products. They have the Dole fruit cups,
but not a Dole Whip, and they don't call it Dole Whip. They call it Pineapple Whip because branding.
Can I give you a tip for tomorrow? Don't ask them for your Pineapple Whip, but with no puree, because they actually pull it out and then they put like this puree thing on top of it. But the next time I'm going, I'm like, hold the puree, please, because I just want.
Really? Okay, that's interesting.
Why did they put some puree on it?
Yeah, it's like in this. It's like one of those like baggies, like the bag, like it's like a bag,
like a syrup.
Yeah, it's like a syrup. Yeah, so ask him to hold that. I don't know if he will, but he seems pretty nice. He might, but he knows what he's doing. So the last time I was too afraid to ask him.
Huh. Now it's just time to get the other flavors. I love the orange one. The orange Dole Whip's great.
I mean, I hope the thing that I'm really kind of nervous about is that I don't mean to be pejorative talking about different nationalities or different people who visit Disneyland Paris. I hope they like I'm thinking like specifically about like the pineapple on the cheesecake on a stick. How many people are going to want to have cheesecake on a stick? Like I feel like that's quite maybe like Anglophone world kind of like, hey, cool. Whereas like in Europe, mainland Europe, I don't know how that will fly. So I'm hopeful that there's an audience there because they are trying things. They are trying to bring in the Dole Whip and the Mickey bars and stuff like that. So I hope there is an audience there to make it worth Disneyland Paris as well, because in the past they've very much done the whole, we tried different flavor popcorns and it didn't work and we're never doing it again. So like I hope that there is an audience that will like make it worth their while, because if not, you can't complain And then when they try and do something, then they'll be like, I don't want to buy it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there was an issue with the blue popcorn.
No, not the blue popcorn.
Which Walt Disney World have like gone straight into, by the way, for their celebration popcorn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
not the blue popcorn. The years and years and years ago, they tried in different lands. They tried like different flavored popcorn.
Did
And
they?
Did, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember this.
and that didn't work, and they never did it again. So like, you know, I think if you know, if we're going to criticize, and that's another reason as to why tomorrow I'm like, what snacks am I going to buy? Because like I've criticized Disneyland Paris food for like a very long time. So now that they're actually providing a little bit of effort, I can't be like, it's too expensive, I don't want to buy it. I'm like, you know, I just have to put up and shut up and like, yeah, I'm going to go and buy a snack.
I feel like the Mickey bars are doing well. A lot of people are buying those.
Yeah, and you know, I think a lot of people need to realize, well, like, you know, it's a very different product. It's, you know, it's quite sweet compared to the American ones, which I found were personally a little bit bitter because of the dark chocolate. I know they were bigger and they were coming this little plate and you pull it out and blah blah. Whereas I you know, $4.50 for what this Disneyland, like for what Disneyland Paris are offering, it's fine. And if you go to if you go to a quick service restaurant, they all have them, and you can get a pizza discount. So you know. I'm thrilled, and I can't wait to have one tomorrow because I'm.
Oh, that's a good tip. If you go to a quick service, you'll get AP discount on your ice cream,
and you can mobile order them at Hyperion and Casey's.
Right, but I mean,
when it works,
if you want to fill out that form.
Yeah.
When it works though, because when it's busy, it don't work.
Yeah, when it's busy, you try to get the slot, and then by the time you fill up the form, it's like this slot is no longer available, and it bounces you back to the beginning, and so you can try forever until it's basically 4 p.m. and you can just walk in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Mobile order needs a lot of work.
It is to become native in the app. Like that's the issue. It's like we don't want some third party, you know, and they've tried that with Line Bertie. It's terrible. But you know, hopefully the app will get updated with a system for, you know, to reserve meet and greets and all that kind of stuff. Especially with Avengers Campus coming in, a system that you can just reserve meet and greets in the app, a system where you can reserve your visit day in the app instead of going to all those outside websites. But anyway, hopefully soon.
But the park reservations are a really interesting point, because I saw somebody. This is from the American parks, where they were, you know, quoting Bob Chapek and Josh D'Amaro, even from like 2 years ago, when the parks reopened, when they were like, "This system is here to stay." And here we are 2 years on. Even in the Walt Disney World and Disneyland app, if you press plus and then you try and go to reserve a park day, it just bounces you out to a website.
Yeah,
like this is not like a Paris thing, and it just feels like we're 2 years on and it's still bouncing to a website. Is it really here to stay?
Yes.
Well, yeah, it is for the moment, yes, but a lot of stuff's happened in these apps.
Yeah, no, it's going to be in a Paris app soon.
Yeah.
So
I really don't like the system, but hey.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like 3 days is just not enough. I would love to have 5 days, so you can hold a few like important dates that you know you're going to visit, and you can also have some days.
I think also the fact that like pretty much most weekends are always the ones to go first. I feel like, like, you know, in that case, what's the point in like having a pass that allows me X amount of potential access days? Because if I'm not ever going to be able to book a Friday or a Saturday, and specifically, we're going down a rabbit hole of reservations. I very much feel, I was talking to Ben about this yesterday, I very much feel that they're trying to push an American problem into a Paris situation. And the fact that I don't, like, you know, when it comes to attendance, you know, the American parks would struggle with, specifically California, would struggle with attendance, whereas Paris is like, it's, you know, it's nowhere near like that problematic with visitation and numbers and stuff like that. And I know they want to like cut their costs and they want to like streamline and they want to like not have to be blah blah blah, but like as it is, I don't feel like when there was no park reservations, as it is, it was still pretty hard to get like anything to eat after 7, or it was pretty hard to, you know, get services after a specific time. So like it's not like a new thing where Disneyland Paris needs to be like reducing the amount of people, like amount of offers that it has after a specific time. I just think it's very much trying to push a problem that is not a problem for Paris onto Paris.
Yeah, I think I agree. Actually, I didn't think about it that way, but I don't think Paris really struggles there. You know, in Paris, what's a busy day and what's not a busy day. You just need to look at the school holiday timetable. That's it.
But I
It's
feel
weekends
like
and school holidays.
I feel like that's
Done.
not what this whole system is doing. This whole system is limiting the percentage of AP holders in the park at any time. Even if there's capacity, they don't want more than X percent of AP holders in the park because we're a certain type of customers, and they just don't want more than that in the park. And it doesn't matter if the park is not full. If you reach that quota, they just don't want more AP holders than.
But why
X.
why would you limit that? So if the park is
Because
not full,
AP holders don't spend money. They just come and clog the line and make the experience worse for everyone else.
Well, now, like
I know I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm saying that's how Disney is thinking. AP holder come in, don't spend enough, clog the line and make the lines longer and the park experience overall worse. I think that's what they're thinking.
But now when you see that they can make effort with merchandise, they can make effort with food, and there is a thing where I found that I've visited 3 times since the anniversary started, and each time I've spent a lot on merch. I spent a lot on merch the first time. I spent a lot on food the second time. I'm planning on spending more on food tomorrow. So like I kind of feel like they need, like, it's easy to say that, oh, AP holders don't spend enough, or the average spend and blah blah blah, and they need to have like targets and blah blah blah. But they also need to be listening to their customers, and that I don't want to spend €6 on a sablé that is in the shape of a character that just tastes the exact same as the sablé that you had in the shape of another character at another time of the year. I wanted to come in and be like, oh yeah, I can only get this in Disneyland Paris, and I kind of want to have it. Do you know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I feel like it's easy to, and again, it's not just Disneyland Paris. I feel like Disney parks in general, it's kind of easy to put the blame onto someone else and not be like, maybe we should be trying to, like create things that people want to, like Instagrammable treats, like Sadie was saying. We should be trying to, like, get people into, like, merch that they want, and not making it limited editions just because they want to make it a limited edition. There's a fine line, and I feel like, yeah, fair enough, we need to spend more, but they also need to listen to what we want to spend money on.
I think as well, your AP customers are probably, they're going to be your most loyal. I mean, I think when I look back on us, I would say that even as AP customers, I would say we spend more than probably people who are doing a trip to Disneyland Paris. And, a lot of people that do it, they see it as like an opportunity trip, and they don't know when they're next gonna, maybe return, or that it's maybe a trip that they've saved really hard for as a family to be able to go. I would say your AP people are probably, I would, like, from experience, I'd say we're more likely to spend more money, I would have thought, although there are, the discounts and ticket and all the rest of it. But I would say, looking at my bank account.
Right. But I mean, also you guys and we are, I mean, Patrick, you live near Paris, but you also don't visit, every single day. But I think there are some guests who live nearby, who live in Paris, and who come every single weekend, who come like 3 days a week, 4 days a week, and just come and do the rides and leave and bring their own sandwich and all this and that. I don't know if we're, like, on this show, if we're representative of the AP crowd.
I think Patrick has a good point in that you need to give me something to spend my money on. So in Disneyland Paris, I'm staying on site, but until probably this anniversary, what was I going to buy in the park? Well, I was going to buy food. Was I going to buy food because I really want to buy food, or was I going to buy food because, hey, it's lunchtime, I got to eat something? That's kind of where we're at. And the same with merchandise. The merchandise was never amazing in Paris. Like, the odd thing that's great, but there's never, you don't walk into a t-shirt a shop in Paris and go, "Ooh, that's a nice t-shirt, I must buy it." You don't do that as much.
That's where the other parks hit different.
And like, maybe it's, I always thought maybe because, like, we're not locals to, like, Disneyland or Walt Disney World. So, like, there is a time in the day when you can be like, I don't want to spend 45 minutes waiting for an attraction, but I can walk around and just look in the shops and be like, oh my God, look at this, you know. See, and I know we have the blasé approach because we kind of, every time something new comes out, we're like, oh, one new thing. Whereas, you know, for people who come every X amount of years, they're like, oh my God, there's so many things that are new because they've accumulated and whatever. So, but like, you know, it's rare that something comes out in Paris and you're like, everyone's like unanimously like, I really have to get this, unless it's a key or a limited pin or like a limited edition thing where they've just feel
a
like,
Loungefly.
yeah.
But even with seasons, right? This only ever happens for anniversaries. Like,
I feel like the Lion King and the season of the Lion King and Jungle was the first one that they actually had a merch offer, and that was like, you know, pretty good. There was a nice t-shirt,
okay.
there was a nice mug, there was a nice thing, you know, you could get a couple of bits that you're like, okay, that was kind of cool. And I feel like they've learned from a lot of that, and they've kind of built on it. Remember when Pirates and Princess came out and there was one t-shirt and that was all that they had?
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
But like, you know, I don't know.
The thing is, like, once they realized it was popular, it was too late to make a merchandise line. But then they had another Pirates and Princesses, and they also didn't do anything for it. It was like a year later.
They did an ice cream that they launched in January.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I think again, I understand that there was like business strategies and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I think Disney Paris or Disney parks in general are, when you walk through the door, it should be like how can we upcharge you without telling you we're going to upcharge you? How are we going to entice you so that you're like, oh, I really have to do this, or I really have to have that, or I really have blah, blah. And then you walk out the door, and you know the amount of times, like I've said before in the podcast, when I was in Disneyland, when there's mobile order, the amount of things I just mobile ordered because I could mobile order them. Was I hungry or did I want it? No, but could I get it like real quick? Yes. So like, you know, so
that's especially true for drinks in Paris. Like in Paris, you walk around, you're like, I'm not going to have a drink because I don't want to wait in that 20-minute line. Whereas in the American parks, you're just like, I just want a drink. Okay, done.
Well, the key to have a drink in Paris is to get either bottles in the shops, like in the clothing shops. They all have fridges.
Sure. But
or if you want coffee, you have to get them at the PhotoPass counters.
Yeah. But I mean, they keep saying bottled drinks are not. I'm trying to be better when it comes to all that whole like environmentally friendly thing. Bottles are not.
Yeah. All right. So, you know, end of the story. Not end of the story. Moral of the story. Give us more things that we want to spend on instead of stopping us from coming to the parks.
Because it's gonna like, you know, it creates a little bit of bad will in the fact that you're kind of like, oh, okay, so we're your most loyal fans and whatever, but we're not worthy.
I was really worried I wasn't going to be able to come for April 12th, even though nothing is happening, but I wanted to be there, and it's a really hard one to get. I think it's still not available. So if you're coming that week, you don't know, you might be coming 10, 11, and 13, you know, like, and what are you going to do on 12?
Yeah, like that's the thing, like, you know, that's like, you know, like, as well, like being locked out, if you're coming to stay in the parks and you know, maybe not staying on site, but you're staying in a good neighbor, or you're staying in something that's like quite close, and it means that you can be going every day. I've had people messaging me saying that they are going for a 4-day trip and they only have 3 of their 4 days confirmed, and then there's one day that they might be able to go, and I'm like, well, it's like, you know,
that's not really a fun way to plan your vacation, right? When you don't know,
because like, especially like when we just said it's not necessary in Paris. Maybe it is necessary in Disneyland, but like it's not necessary in Paris.
Or give us 5 days, at least. Like with 5 days, you can come like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, maybe an extra day, you know. And
you know, though, that when we get round to these new annual passes, you're going to pay more for more days.
Yeah. There's probably going to be an unlimited one that's going to be like a lot of money.
Yeah.
Where you can
even you look at the Magic Keys.
Visit any days.
The Magic Keys, I think the most expensive key that's been sold out for like a year now is 6 days, I think. And then it slides down to 5, then 4, and then maybe 3.
But when you look at the Magic Keys specifically in California, you can usually always get, if you can't get into Disneyland, you can usually always get into DCA.
Whereas, Magic Keys have been really controversial, though. There's been a lot of times that people can't get in anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if that's the case, I don't know. again, I don't think I'm as neutral as a person that as Disney wants me to be, but as an AP holder, and I know they want to change our habits and whatever, but it really just doesn't feel like it's necessary. It's not like a
yeah. And I mean, a lot of times also, like, the weird thing is a lot of times you just come in the night before or the morning of, and most days, I mean, unless it's like Christmas Day or maybe April 12th will stay black, but most days become available the night before. So all that stress that people go through just to like go in at 9 p.m. the night before and be like, oh, it's open again.
But I suppose, why would you put people through stress? Like, if you're coming for 5 days and you're, say you're in the UK like we are, like, I'm not going to book a 5-day trip if I'm staying off site, because probably not going to be able to go for 5 days, or I might be able to go for 5 days, but
you probably
might not. But you're sort of starting to put yourself into a risky situation where you're not 100% sure that you're going to be able to do that. So why would I book that? And then that takes away 2 days that I'm not in the park and I'm not spending, because now I'm coming for less days.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens when the new APs come out later this year. I'm assuming this is all like prep for, the new offers and stuff. Like right now we all have this 3-day rules, but let's see what happens.
I'm sad that my Infinity Pass will stop being Infinity at some point.
Yeah.
It technically expired like 2 years ago now.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a musical break, and it's going to be Magical Surprise, Patrick. And then when we come back, we'll talk about our last topic, if you're still listening, and it is Avengers Campus. We'll be right back.
Woo. Come on. Yeah. I feel the magic finally coming. Inside me, I feel my heart drumming. And we ain't stopping up for nothing. Endless surprises in every moment. Tonight I'm a starlight. We'll be burning so bright. We feel like we're on center stage. We'll never be the same. And I wanna see those hands up dancing all through the night. Yeah. It's such a magical surprise. Here we go.
Avengers Campus. Please be good.
It'll be good. I'm really interested about the test kitchen.
No, it's going to be a buffet.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea of making it a buffet instead of quick service. I'm really interested in what that is.
No, it's just going to be a buffet. It's basically going to be Plaza Garden.
Yeah. Anyways, we're back.
I know that Imagineering aren't letting that fly.
I don't know, man. I'll put my faith in merch before I put my faith in food for Avengers Campus.
Avengers Campus food has to go through WDI.
Does it though?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
100% sure.
All right. Well, we'll talk in a couple months.
between what should happen and what will happen.
But Hotel New York food had to go through WDI as well.
Did it?
Yeah.
So what's the excuse for the rest of the resort?
It doesn't go through WDI.
Why?
It's new developments, so all new developments have to go through WDI.
Oh.
I
Okay.
personally would. I've heard is it the dude that did the Marvel Hotel did the Disneyland Paris 30 food, and now he's going to have to do campus.
Not sure.
Oh, okay.
Not sure anyway.
But
So
yeah, it all has to go for campus. It all goes through WDI, and then it'll be the same for Frozen when that comes around.
all right.
But
You mean we're not going to get a shortbread stand?
I'm sure
With
that will,
Anna, Elsa, Olaf, Kristoff, Sven.
I'm sure that will happen as well.
Nutella
but-
shortbreads.
I'm sure that will happen. But no, the main restaurant has to be approved, and it has to be approved by Marvel as well for Avengers Campus.
Oh.
Isn't there Snow? I was going to say Snow Queen. Isn't Frozen? Isn't Frozen though just a quick service though?
Yeah,
It is?
I'm not happy about that.
Yeah. What quick service food are you going to do that's going to be themed to Frozen?
Cod soup.
Well, the thing is,
It looked like watery cum. I was like,
the thing in Frozen, Patrick.
we're not online. We're not recording, are we?
Yes.
Oh, we're back recording. Okay.
No.
Anyways, no, I feel like in Frozen, because they have the meet and greet with Anna and Elsa and whoever else, Patrick is dying. They can also have character dining, because it will be very easy for a guest to go from one end to another and
but
like have this character integrity issue.
You can get around that by doing what they used to do in Auberge, which is take a picture at the start, then you go in, have your dinner, and then leave.
Yeah, but that's probably not what people want from a character dining anymore.
I mean, it's the most intelligent way to do it, though, because I feel like even like modern, the most modern Disney park I've been to is Shanghai Disneyland, and that's how they do it. When you go into like the Royal Banquet Hall, you meet a princess outside, and then you walk in, and then it's all just furries, and you're like,
Yeah, last time we went to Epcot, it was the same. I can't for the life of me think what the princess dining is called there, but that was how it was done there. It was a meet and greet at the start, and then
ask a who's.
Anyways, we're talking about Avengers Campus, and a few months ago, I don't know. What are months? What are years these days? The Quinjet landed. That was a big night. Well, a big morning.
When was that?
It was in
February.
March?
20th of January or something, because it was on that. Remember that French thing that aired on Sunday? They were like, oh, on the 26th of January, I think it was.
You remember things.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So the Quinjet is there. Funny enough, Avengers Campus, there's still quite a lot that we don't know. Web Slinger is moving along. We've seen the ride vehicles on the tracks and the French posters. I like that.
I loved it. I thought it was so cute.
Yeah. And also, so I'm not really spoiled on Web Slingers, but I know that there's some part of the ride that happened in the lands. And so
all of it.
So there's a Paris version, because it's going to be in the Paris land. So that's that. Yeah. The restaurants, I don't know, man. I don't know. So we've already started with the food, and I feel like I'm ready for the disaster. But hey,
no, I genuinely hope, when I see how pretty okay Disneyland Paris 30 food was, I'm pretty hopeful that, campus food isn't going to be as terrible as we could imagine.
I don't understand why Pim Test Kitchen is the buffet, because you already have a menu, right?
It's called Pim Lab in Paris.
Okay, Pim Lab, fine. But you have the menu, right? You could just copy the California menu. It exists.
Well, because the studios need a buffet.
Right,
and it doesn't matter that it's Avengers Campus now. It still has to be a buffet, because people have to use their buffet vouchers.
Right.
I know it's very
isn't there
technical.
there's the other restaurant, right?
Which one?
Is it not the other restaurant?
The other one is a quick service.
No,
Yeah.
the Blockbuster Cafe one.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
People need to use their buffet vouchers.
Yeah, so what I mean is that you could do the pin test kitchen because you know the food. You could just bring that over from California, and then the other one you could make the buffet, and that kind of works. What's it called? Like the assembly or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
You could like assemble your plate from the buffet. Brilliant.
I mean, sure.
I mean, they're not
no.
doing it, but
no,
it should be.
no. I feel like I'm like, sure. Let me take a note of that. No. I don't know.
Nobody thought of this, did they? Someone's going to like listen to this podcast, be like, oh.
I don't know.
He gets this
Pim Lab seems to have a really cool entrance.
Yeah, so like it's a shame to have.
Is it like the? You guys know more about those things.
Yeah.
What is this thing?
It's the. I can't remember what it's called.
I'm making like a V shape.
Particle generator thing.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God!
It's like the shrink gun, like shrink
Yeah.
shit.
We're definitely a Marvel podcast.
I can't remember what it's called. It's really annoying.
The PIM thing. Yeah.
I
Inside,
know exactly
I don't
what
know.
you mean.
Inside, if it's a lab, I don't know. A lab sounds really white to me, but I guess that would not really change from Resto des Stars, which was already pretty much unthemed.
Remember they had Remy in there singing on his little cheese board.
Oh my God! Remember?
I went there just to do that.
You know what'd be fun?
It was really cool.
If they still had him in Avengers Campus, just be like,
He's like
just one day, just like, hi, this is Remy.
he's like with his little shopping bags of like merch and stuff like that. He's like,
Yeah.
Marvel would freak and pick.
Oh God, yeah. Oh my God, Marvel would freak out. Like, I think like Marvel is like worse than the Disney Princess franchise, and they are like, you don't mess with the princesses.
They are literally queens. They are literally queens. And
like you do not mess with them. So, and then there's the quick service, which Jeff already said the name, but let's not repeat it too many times. And that's the one that has the big Hulk. I don't know Marvel people. Hulkbuster, is that a thing?
Hulkbuster, yeah.
Yeah,
that's the one.
it. All right.
It's a Hulkbuster.
It's like the massive Iron Man suit.
It's like Ghostbusters, but Hulk.
Isn't that basically what Blockbuster Cafe was before it closed? When half of
basically.
Yeah, but remember there was this like Pirates of the Caribbean room for no reason. No one asked for this, and then one day
it made even less sense when it was High School Musical.
I did. Well, I like High School Musical, so I was happy about that, but that made no sense either.
I remember actually going to Blockbuster Cafe and just sitting in the Pirates of the Caribbean part and be like, okay, I came here to do this and I've done it. Yeah.
It was actually pretty well themed.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
They did a pretty good job, but for no reason. You just walk in there, you're like, but
it was like scales and I went on the roofs and I went.
Yeah, but next door there's Adventureland and a whole attraction.
Yeah,
I mean, that whole restaurant made no sense. The whole land made no sense.
Like, I mean, I get High School Musical because like Blockbuster Cafe, High School Musical was a blockbuster.
So was Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, I don't think that's what they were going for.
No, okay. And then it became Marvel. Like there was like Iron Man things.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'm just kind of nervous that that's just going to be basically what it was before, and it's going to be Main Street like eatery, like just served in a different part of the park.
Hopefully not. Oh, we've lost Jeff. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, we'll keep going. And then the meet and greet.
Sorry, I just took a drink.
Oh, I was like, whoa. The meet and greet is going to be interesting as well. It's going to be like a Meet Mickey type of thing. Not with Mickey. From what I understand, it's going to be Spider-Man and one other hero. I wonder if they're going to send snipers for me saying that. It's not like breaking news, right?
So would you walk in and meet Spider-Man and then walk through another room and meet another hero? Or would you
I hope so, yeah.
Okay.
I hope so.
Maybe.
Could be like Starport, where we just Like, do you remember how the whole idea once was like, hey, there'll be one room with Darth Vader and one room with Chewbacca, and you can pick your side.
I put the wrong dates on my tweets. I put the wrong date on my tweet.
Ben's very much invested in doing the podcast.
No, I put April.
April.
Sorry. I put April 28. Oh, God. All right. Well, I have to redo it.
For the tweet.
I have to redo it. Is it gone? Well, it's gone
already. This is a thrilling part of the podcast.
Yeah. Sorry.
If you're just this deep down in the podcast, congratulations, and also sorry.
No, but like now
we're nearly at 11 p.m. here.
I've lost my whole
midnight
text.
for Patrick.
I know, Patrick. Are you working tomorrow?
Honey, I'm going to Disneyland Paris tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, talk amongst yourself. I'm doing my tweets.
Anyway, what's the one thing that you really hope Avengers Campus brings to the Walt Disney Studio Park in general? Sadie.
The Stuntronic. No, I'm just kidding.
What's the one thing I hope
that Avengers Campus brings to the Walt Disney Studios Park?
Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to start with that.
That's a great question, by the way. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, ride quality.
Ooh.
Traction quality.
Yeah, the Avengers coaster, that could be fun.
Yeah. It's just, I hope it's done well. Like,
when you see how they've done Guardians of the Galaxy, I really hope they know how to do it well.
Yeah, that's the type of level that I would hope to see, because walking I find that a completely immersive experience, which you want. And I think Marvel fans are so I think the attention to detail is just, if it's not on point, it's gonna get picked out. It's gonna get torn apart, because so many little details in Marvel mean a lot, and you can watch a film over and over and over again and you'll keep noticing new little bits. And I think if that, like, those little touches, I think Marvel fans will grasp on straight away. So I think it's just about what they do, making sure they do it right.
Mm-hmm. And I think they are.
I hope.
When it comes to theming, when it comes to like the buildings and all the little touches, and also, I mean, the whole concept, I think, of Avengers Campus, I think is really cool. The fact that they're all linked together, and they're like, the Avengers have just set up a training camp for us to help them. And I think it's such a good idea, because like, unlike, Galaxy's Edge, which we talked before, which is like stuck in time, stuck in place, like Avengers Campus is in Paris. Avengers Campus is in Malabale. Like, it's a real place in real time right now. And it's been created by the Avengers to like show us what they're doing, to help us to do all that. And I think it's such a good idea, because you can make this evolve in so many directions. You can redo things. You're not stuck in time or place.
You can always update it and keep it new if that's what we're going off of.
Now, will they? I don't know. But at least that's that. That's the option.
California's done a pretty good job, right? So every week that they do there's a Marvel show on Disney Plus, and like, I think for Loki, he had a different outfit every week. So every week Loki got updated with a new outfit.
Really?
Not saying that's what we're getting, but
and I mean, I think a lot is being placed on characters, and there's going to be, wherever you look, there's always going to be something happening. And I know that Galaxy's Edge also had the promise of having a lot of entertainment on the street, but I guess they're trying again. And so hopefully when you walk down the street, you'll always see something happening. You'll always see, like, here's Black Widow, like running on the roof, or his, this happening, or on the platform, like, Iron Man is talking in front of the Quinjet, or that kind of stuff. So hopefully there's always going to be something. We have like vehicles, cars, 4x4s that are going to be roaming the land, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully it'll feel really alive. And hopefully that doesn't get cut up to 6 months. And then there's the Avengers coaster.
and I'm really excited about that. I genuinely think with all of the things that we have together, I think definitely Paris looks like it could have the best Avengers Campus compared to like what you have in the States, in California. I think also, like, you know, and this is like, I'm not using this as a barometer, but when you look at the disinterest in general, that would, like, I've been trying to look for Avengers Campus vlogs just to see what people are thinking about Avengers Campus in California Adventure, and like all the big people or the big sites did their one vlog when it opened, and that's it. It feels like it's kind of hard to, whereas I feel like in Disneyland Paris, specifically in Walt Disney Studios Park, I definitely feel like you're gonna have like a lasting kind of impression and change, and like the first time that we get like a full proper land, because like Ratatouille, like Place d'Armée was like a place, it was a square, and that was it. So like, whereas this is like a full land that you're gonna get, and like I feel like, and I don't want to say like it sounds a bit kind of, I don't know. It's a bit like, oh, like in America they get so many nice things, that do they really appreciate all the nice things that they get? Whereas we are so starved from stuff, and we're like, I think we'll like really, really appreciate that there's like something special in Walt Disney Studios Park.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Drones and a better Avengers Campus. Like the US are gonna just.
I think where Avengers Campus really failed in the US, I don't want to say failed because it probably hasn't failed, but you had Guardians of the Galaxy before, which was obviously the hit. Then you opened Avengers Campus, and you had a couple of nice places to eat and one attraction really. But also you had the shell of the entrance of the one that should be there but isn't.
Yeah.
And I think that's so noticeable in California. Because that thing
weird.
is literally a doorway that goes nowhere.
Yeah.
Like the whole building's there, but just nothing on the other side of the doorway.
Literally stays on a Quinjet like entrance, and
yeah, it's so bizarre and weird. And now, you know, a couple of weeks ago at the AGM, Chapek sort of said that thing's on ice for a while.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think, for what it's worth, I think they should go all in on it, because they went all in on Rise of the Resistance. People love that. And at the moment, Marvel's bigger.
And also, like, Marvel has such huge potentials. Like the characters, the stories, the universes, and the fans. Like, Marvel fans it's a huge group, and they're not capitalizing on this. They're not, like, I think Marvel should have gone in some park, wherever, you know, in California, in Paris, in Shanghai, and Tokyo. I don't know. But I feel like there's enough material to have a Marvel park. 100%.
Yeah, I think it's crazy
Marvel
that
park.
it's just crazy that the e-ticket got cut.
Like, insane. And sadly, all they're getting is like two, you know, shoehorn lands. And I mean, ours is going to be amazing. I think it's going to be really good, but still, it's a re-theme mostly. Apart from the Spider-Man building, everything is sort of like just a re-theme. So yeah, but it is what it is, right? Like we're there.
I saw somebody on Twitter the other day saying, like, when you think about the money that Pixar movies have made, and when you see the amount of Pixar, the height of Pixar in the parks is a hotel, or, you know, a kind of a flat ride, or like a, you know, Worlds of Pixar, you know, it's
a rethemed pier.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's insane for the amount of money that Pixar has made, that there's not an actual effort for Pixar. And like you said, like, it's insane for the amount of money. Like, you know, I think the difference between Marvel and Star Wars is that Star Wars is kind of coasting on nostalgia, whereas Marvel is very much coasting on the fact that if a Marvel movie comes out, you will go and see it and you will have a good time. And, you know, it's like very current, and like, it's what today's generation are dreaming of, and not what people our age are like, oh yeah, we saw Star Wars when we were kids and it was great.
But I think that attraction would still do well, like really well.
So when it comes to the Avengers coaster, we don't really know also what to expect. We know from way back in the day, before Avengers Campus got announced. Remember that they announced that there was going to be an Iron Man coaster?
I remember thinking, how is that going to fit in backlot? And I was like,
Yeah.
what are we gonna do? I was like, yeah.
Little did we know. Little did they know, probably. Maybe. I don't know. So that's still happening. I'm sure it's been reworked a million times. I like the outside and the queue and everything they've showed so far. It looks like a real attraction as opposed to like that weird metallic awning that we used to wait in for, Rock and Roller Coaster and then go under that flat CD. Oh God.
The facade is the show building.
I mean, oh God. Yeah. It looks really nice. I think it's gonna be cool. We'll go under the Quinjet, and then you get into this new covered area, and inside, I guess, there's gonna be a Iron Man animatronic, I guess, from the concept from like, what is it, like 2018, 2019, something like that. And then we don't know much about the ride. I mean, there's been a few, like, I don't know, leaks, rumors, what are we calling them? That I mean, obviously it's the same track and the same trains, except the what do you call it? The body of the train is a different shape and stuff. But I mean, it's the same. It's going to be the same ride experience in terms of like, twist and turn. So the question is going to be, what have they done to it? I think there's a lot of like sort of like curved screens or a roof screen. You just go through tunnels of screens that are sync with your train or something like that. Makes you feel like you're flying with the Avengers. I don't know. That's how I understand it, but I don't know really.
But even when you look at like the Rock and Roller Coaster from the past, and when you look at the version in Florida, there's like a fair amount of decoration in the little tunnel they have. In the whereas in Disneyland Paris, I remember they had the little like the circly things were like and that
that
was kind of really it. And I was like, even in America, the theme inside is pretty it's pretty light, and we got lighter, we got like even so it's gonna be fun to see.
I mean, the American one has a story, like you're late for your gig and you're going through LA in a limo. In Paris, it was just like, hey, want to ride the music?
And it was.
Wait, where's the light? No, I mean, what was it like? Yeah,
there was like the whole. Music. Yeah, it was like a.
Want to ride the music?
The cars were called Soundtrackers or something, weren't they?
Soundtracker, yeah. Come and ride the music, and then inside it was basically like your average local club. I'm pretty sure Val d'Europe had better lighting in the clubs.
And then you need to have seen the American pre-show to know who the hell that chick was. And he was like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Because her story was developed in America.
Yeah, exactly. Like no one understood like what the hell.
Yeah.
Eventually they just sort of skipped it as well. Like there was just a whole period of time where they were just like, do you know what? Just go straight through this thing.
Yeah. The doors were open and they weren't there. And I was like,
yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting one. We've seen the entrance sign. That's really exciting.
Yeah. If you look,
the pavers, remember when they like moved the walls and they were like, oops, sorry, didn't mean to show the pavers. They're going to be those like gray and white pavers thing. Like the whole street is going to look amazing with like real pavement, like not just, parking lots. It's going to be really cool. We've also seen the blue web logo. I mean, a lot of things are really coming together. They've installed all the infrastructure for the Stuntronic, but we still don't know if the Stuntronic is coming. I have to legally say that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Avengers Campus is opening this summer.
This is brought to you by Avengers Campus.
This message brought to you by Avengers Campus. Opening.
I can't wait for that day where I have to eat in the buffet and the quick service all in one. Be fun. Yeah.
I can't wait for the day.
For sure.
It's going to be so fun. Remember in 2014 when Ratatouille opened and it was like the queues are 3 hours long. I can't wait for that to be 7.
What are they going to do? Well, that's the question. Are they going to do boarding groups? And basically, you'll get your boarding group.
Yeah, but I don't want them to throw me out. I'm just going to hide in the toilets. And I'm like, oh, the water's cold or warm.
And going back to our first topics, do you think the toilets will be themed in Avengers Campus?
We've come full circle.
Yay! And you know what that means? That means it's time to end the show. We've been going for way too long. A show about the toilets of Disneyland Paris and a lot of other things. Right, I think we've covered everything. I'm just looking at my list. Yeah.
Not enough toilet talk.
Not enough toilet talks. Well, there's always next time.
Great.
So this was season 3, episode 1, and I hope that we can do this again, like maybe after April 12th, so we can talk about the anniversary. This is gonna be a short show. But no, actually,
The drone show was great.
Actually, we'll talk again in a month because I think that would be a good time to talk again for episode 2. Maybe we should aim for a late April.
Welcome to how we do scheduling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The team. You're part of the team. You're hearing.
Be like, hi, are you free that night? No. Are you free that night? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll find
We didn't talk about something major.
What?
Disney Village.
Oh,
my God, we forgot Disney Village. That is how much we care. Disney Village is getting remodeled over 5 years, and it's going to be long, man.
Yeah.
But exciting. It's needed.
But exciting, yes.
it's an exciting time to be a Disneyland Paris fan. Disneyland Paris is pretty good.
Because I feel like Disney Village was like the last piece of the puzzle that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, Avengers Campus is on the way. Disney Village is getting invested. And then when we finish all of that, Frozen is around the corner.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Frozen Disney Village will still be in
I know, but
its sort of transformation stage while Frozen's open.
I mean, once Rosalie's open, everyone's going to be like, oh, the Disney Village, blah, blah, blah. But like there's like a lot to look forward to. It's like, it's a good time to be a fan.
Yeah. It's good to be a fan. It's fun to be. What was fan?
It's fun to be.
It's fun to be a fan.
And they're still using that music.
Yeah,
they are for the opening spiel, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
they are. Well,
I think
Disneyland Paris and recycling. I mean, it's a tradition.
Rosalie will be really good. So that's replacing Cafe Mickey.
Yeah. Because who wants to eat at Cafe Mickey? Come on, people.
Nobody.
I get so, and just, and then
Facebook exploded with that. Very well for Cafe Mickey.
Oh, yeah.
Facebook exploded. It was like 100 and odd shares, 1,000 likes. I was like, good Lord.
Yeah, Patrick is like texting me, is like, can I make this tweet? Go farewell, Cafe Mickey. I'm like, hit them.
But like the thing with Cafe Mickey is that location is premium. That is probably the most premium location in Disney Village. And they don't use it to anything like its potential. And now they will be. So
because the food is gross and the characters are basic.
Do you see
Sorry.
Find it when it was, because when we first started going, I think it was 35 euros for like your starter main and like a drink or whatever, 35 euros and characters like we were like, sure, like
Jesus, this is like free on like today's standards.
Yeah, let's just do it. And then when they put the the prices up and it was like whatever it is, like 60 now, we were like, I cannot warrant spending that money on that food when Erla sandwich is just so close.
Yeah.
And I'd prefer to eat that.
And it's too bad because there was a concept there to like, do like Goofy's Kitchen and have outfits in like, Chef Goofy and mini, bakery, like mini baker, whatever, this like they do at Disneyland. But they never did. It was always like, I mean, it's great. It's always great to see Mickey and his friends, but I mean, it depends for how much, like,
yeah, absolutely.
And the food, like then it became like an Italian menu and everyone was like, oh, like why? Like it's Mickey. Mickey's all American. Like give me like mac and cheese. Give me some bacon. Give me some,
R.I.P. Ariel's favorite fish risotto. She was a cannibal and ate the sea.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, Disney Village, exciting. And someone said they're gonna remove, obviously from the concept art, I guess they're gonna remove those giant pillars, so that's gonna be weird when they start coming down, and the whole thing needs to get repaved because right now it looks like a mismatch of all sorts of things.
Right now it looks like the bottom of Main Street USA and Walt Disney World Magic Kingdom.
Burn.
It needs to be. I was saying this the other day as well. there needs to be a background music loop that's not just random songs on the radio. That needs to put it together.
I enjoy that because a lot of it is like, oh my God, they just play Fantasmic and then they just play We Don't Talk About Bruno or blah, blah, blah. I enjoy that. I'm like, it doesn't know what it wants to be. But yeah, it needs to have like a classy, oh, wow. You know, like in World of Disney, and I don't know if it's the same in Disney Springs, but in Downtown Disney in California, in Anaheim. I love the little soft jazz, and it's like Disney tunes. And it's like do do do. I like that.
Kind of like
no, in Disney Springs, it was like a weird new wave sort of version of Disney songs. And like I was walking through it, I was like, oh, this is like from Wreck-It Ralph. This is great.
Well, I like the soft jazz. I also want
someone has worked on it, not like Disney Village Radio, which is kind of like your iTunes on random.
Yeah,
like that.
And then when they like sneak in like the little adverts, it's like, come join us at our dance party tonight. Okay.
Oh, the one I like, the one where she's like, do you have everything in the car? Yes, I do. Do you have the park reservations? Yes, I do. No, you need to have a park reservation. Disney Paris app. I'm like, wow. Also, while I'm talking, Ben looks horrified. But I also want in Walt Disney Studios Park for Front Lot to have its own like kind of soft jazz, and I want Mickey Avenue soundtrack to be played around there because that would just work so well.
Yeah, can we take out like the
Harry Potter,
the Harry Potter music,
James Bond,
yeah,
things that aren't Disney. Yeah, I want that little like jaunty tune of Mickey Avenue. Put that in what is it in the front lot? That would change the atmosphere like a lot, and it would be good.
Yeah. All right. Well, lots to look forward to. And we'll talk more in a month about everything that's happened at Disneyland Paris. Thank you, everyone, for being back on the podcast. We're back on the feed. I have to like find a password and stuff to upload the episode, so hopefully that still works.
So we may have just spent 3 hours recording.
No. I have it saved somewhere, and I know who to call if I need it. It's Michael McNeela. Or Ghostbusters. All right. Thank you, everyone, for being on the show. And thank you, everyone, for listening. I think it's going to be about 2 hours and a half. So, yeah.
Well done, everyone.
You've made it. Maybe you were on the long car ride or a long walk on the beach. I don't know.
You're an insomniac and you're now asleep.
Exactly. Maybe you were waiting in line at Princess Pavilion and you're only halfway there. So anyways, enjoy your meet and greets, and we'll see you next month. Bye-bye.
Bye.